And I think it does say a great deal about the country that people from Israel or Jews from England aren't able to travel and support Tel Aviv.
You can hear that interview in full in the next hour with H&J. Looks like we'll see a lot more Esteval for Chelsea in the next few weeks, with Cole Palmer likely to miss the next 9 games. That's 6 weeks. Enzo Maresca wouldn't be drawn on who will replace him, but admits it isn't an easy task.
Cole is a very important player for us. Probably one of the best players in the Premier League, so to replace that kind of player, it's always difficult.
You can hear Chelsea's trip to Nottingham Forest tomorrow lunchtime exclusively on talkSPORT. Liverpool are still without Alisson for their return to Premier League action against Manchester United on Sunday. They will, though, have Ibrahima Konate and Ryan Gravenberch fit. Both were a doubt. Hundreds, including a number of former England players, have said their final goodbyes to ex-Liverpool women's boss Matt Beard, who died last month, aged just 47. In his eulogy, Matt's brother Mark called for his death to be a lesson to us all to be more thoughtful.
talkSPORT News.
3 supposed Nazi-worshipping extremists have been jailed for a total of 29 years for terror offences, and the Court of Appeal says Palestine Action's co-founder can take legal action in the High Court to challenge the group's terror ban. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Rain or shine, our mobile tyre fitting service comes to you, so you can stay on the sofa this winter. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Another cloudy day for most of us. Patchy drizzle in the far north and east. That'll move south later. A grey and windy weekend ahead.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Where this afternoon, please tell us, Andy, what's coming up?
Well, coming up over the next 3 hours, Stan Collymore looks ahead to the return of the Premier League. Steve Harmison previews England's white ball tour of New Zealand. And Swansea legend Lee Trundle joins us on the eve of his boxing match with former Spurs defender Anthony Gardner.
That's right, he's been training with his mate Enzo Macaronelli, so he'll tell us more about that later on. Talk a bit of football. We'll also have more of Andy's nonsense by numbers. Spurs supporting comedian Carl Donnelly pops in, and Football Italia's James Richardson on his move into sumo.
There's all this plus the clips of the week, the Falls panel, and star wide receiver pranks boss in Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup.
That's right. So lots to come this afternoon. I think we're all delighted that the Premier League, the Championship and everything is back.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be chatting about that as the show unfolds. It is 4 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Andy.
No disrespect to England v Latvia.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, there were some positives to come out of the international break, but let's get back to the bread and butter for 3 weeks until we have another break for 2 weeks.
Palace looks to me one of the games of the weekend. I think that'd be a tremendous
on
game.
a footballing front. That's true. You never quite know, do you? Because sometimes they can be, the games can be affected by the amount of travelling people have done. And
they're not Brighton, Bournemouth Palace.
Oh, Bournemouth Palace, yeah.
Bournemouth versus Palace. Yeah, you can't. It's a bit tricky weekend to predict, that's true. It's great in the sun today. They're reporting that Match of the Day has lost, how many viewers is it? Hundreds of thousands of viewers since Gary Lineker left the show. It's brilliant. They spent 20 years trying to get rid of him. Now they're saying, oh, now he's gone. I mean, nobody's watching.
I love Gary, but I didn't watch it for Gary. No, if Gary wasn't on that week and Gabby was doing it or somebody else was,
turn off.
I wouldn't think, I can't watch these highlights.
So glee,
so
it's glee.
I can't quite see that. And I think the Beeb have come back and said a lot of people watching on iPlayer and stuff. So it's a bit of a suspect old stat that. Anything else?
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Can I talk to you about Cole Palmer?
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah, that was a bit of a blow. Did you think it was going to be another 6 weeks?
No, I mean, I think Did you think it was going to be another 6 weeks? No, I mean, what's driving me mad about this is he'll come back and then they'll go, he needs an operation. I don't know what you can do. It's always the same.
Well, we just had this with Solanke.
You won't get away with it.
It's difficult. I mean, I'm sure all fans out there will have those situations where you've got a player looking to get back and they say, it's got a bit of a problem, we're keeping it up, we don't really want to operate. It always feels 9 times out of 10 they have to operate, and all they're doing is putting off the inevitable. Yeah. We're waiting to see if it settles down. It rarely settles. I mean, I'm no physio. I could have been, but I never really bothered. But you always feel 9 times out of 10. And it's that moment you think, well, why didn't you do that 4 weeks ago when you were keeping an eye on it?
For me, I think they should have done that, but I'm not, as you say, we're not.
Nobody likes to resort to surgery. I get it. But, so often, I don't know, they seem. So, I mean, from a Chelsea point of view, it's not great. On a broader level, it means he's not going to be involved in those games in November. When Tuchel's already said, he spoke to Faye after the game the other day, saying that he'd give him an opportunity now to try out some different players, give some game time to some different players.
It'll be very sad if he can't make the World Cup.
I'm sure he will. I mean, you do sense by the time he comes back, he'll be playing well enough to be involved in March. And how can you leave them out if he gets his mojo back, really?
Yeah. But for Chelsea, it's slightly less of a problem than it's been in the past. They've got a bit more creativity this season. So, I think they'll miss him like mad.
Yeah, of course.
They can sort of get away with it for a bit.
Anything else you want to talk about, Andy?
What else have I got here? Hang on. Football-wise.
Well, it can be anything.
Well, it can be anything, yeah.
There's a broad church. Not broad church, obviously. It's not on at the moment.
I'm fascinated by sometimes people's opinions in the media. But apparently, Jolyon Lesker said that Liverpool would take a refund for Florian Wirtz.
Really?
I know.
I'll have him.
If Liverpool would get their money back at the end of the season, they would do it. I think it's ridiculous
to
write this player off. I was looking at him the other night. I was thinking, this is a really good footballer. Yeah. It's just going to take. With
respect to Jolyon, when you've got Jurgen Klopp saying he's a once in a century player and he's going to be fantastic, who's seen more of him play?
Well, that's what I'd say, really. Yeah. But what can you do? I've got a couple of Clives for you. Clive from Mastermind.
Right, okay. Now, you keep an eye on Mastermind for us, Andy.
I do,
and you like Clive Myrie, the Manchester City Sporting host's intros that he does. You think they're a bit overlong to explain what the specialist subjects are?
Yeah. So, for example, Neil Diamond.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the hugely successful singer-songwriter and actor born in New York City in 1941. So not Diamond Plumbing and Heating of Raynham in Essex.
Oh, you found one, did you? Yeah. I don't think that's a bit... That sums up who he is.
Everybody knows who Neil Diamond is, don't they?
Yeah, but what about... I don't know. I mean, you've got to give some sort of explanation, haven't you?
Let's have a look over there in the gallery. Is there anybody who doesn't know who Neil Diamond is? No, even Georgia.
Even Georgia.
Yeah, they all know.
They've all heard of Neil Diamond. So, Neil, you're maintaining Neil...
This one may be a bit... You may have a point more. The films of Billy Wilder.
Okay.
Yes, the films of the Hollywood director whose career lasted over 60 years, and not Bill Wilder Plumbing of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, you found one?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Brilliant. Did you prefer his early plumbing to his late plumbing?
I did, actually, yeah. Some like it wet.
Yeah. What would it say on the side of Billy Wilder's... yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, you've probably got... Some like it hot, because he does boilers as well. He'll do boiler repairs, won't he?
Yeah,
I'd like to think we could say that on the side. Yeah.
There's a funny story as well in the paper today. Elton John's glasses company owes over 3.7 million.
Wow.
Figures revealed. The Rocket Man star, not my words, 78, sells...
Second mention.
That's how I speak.
Yeah.
The colourful... sells colourful eyewear.
Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great?
Yeah.
Old Reenie.
Yeah.
Reenie down the road.
73
She's 80 today. The octogenarian neighbour. You have to just sort of say different things.
I know you do, really.
No idea.
But accounts for Elton John Optical Company show that it's 3.7 million in the red for the 12 months to the end of March. Most of it is owned to William A. Bong Limited. He's the bloke that's always on news at 10 every night.
He is. I mean, I suppose they said to Elton, when do you think we're going to see our money? He said, well, I think it's going to be a long, long time. Which probably didn't go down well in the creditors meeting. Anyway, I'm sure that's not the case.
It's all going to
Elton will sort it out.
Will.
He'll get in there. It'll be like... Wouldn't it? Well, there's your TV spin-off show. Elton goes into his own glasses company and just completely turns it. You're fired. Goes in and then runs it. Goes selling glasses door to door. Elton John. I'm Elton John. You want to buy a pair of glasses? That would be a numbers game, wouldn't it?
It's good, really.
Yeah. I don't know if they've still got them, But at Vicarage Road, I went along. Actually, it's been that long since I went there. I went when Saracens were playing there. They only had 3 stands.
Oh yeah.
But in the main stand, they had cases of his stageware and many of his glasses as well, so you could see them there in one of the lounges. Marvellous.
Very nice.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what it takes.
No,
I just thought I'd point out as a fact. You don't get that many clubs here.
I went to Watford Chelsea once with a mate and one of my best friends actually, and I nearly lost. He was so horrified with my behaviour. I think Chelsea lost 1-0, and it was the era of Ambrosetti. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
God, he was terrible.
I think quite a lot of people have gone to football you and been horrified by your behaviour.
I think that may be
haven't
true.
they? Quite a few people over the years you've taken to Chelsea.
Yeah, it's very true.
To a match, and they say, I can't, but Andy's like a different bloke. It's really quite scary.
I'm not as bad as I.
What he because like the Incredible Hulk.
I've definitely calmed down. I'm nowhere near it. My expectations are less now.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we've seen you on a Monday. If you lose to Forest tomorrow live on talkSPORT,
it's my whole weekend ruined.
We'll see what you're like on Monday, won't we?
We're not good, I would imagine. But what can you do?
It is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Lee Trundle's going to join us. There is a big night of footballers boxing. Graham Stack, Arsenal, Watford keeper and coach, has been in a couple of times. Jody Morris popped in. We've had different people telling us about this big night. All the boxers are ready to go. It's tomorrow night, their big event at the Grosvenor House. I think it's sold very well. It's all for charity. And it's interesting, quite a lot of these boxers, quite a lot of these footballers really trying to box for the first time. But it was Anthony Gardner, I'm sure Lee will say the same thing. It got him back into feeling competitive again, something you can never really replicate when you've been a professional sports person.
That could be a tough fight for Lee. Then.
Well, I would say he's a bit Tommy Hearns to Anthony Gardner, isn't he? He's all height and reach.
That's true.
6'5", whatever he is. So, we'll have a chat with Lee
they're
later.
all matched fairly well weight-wise and everything.
I think so, yeah. So we'll talk about some of the other fights on the card and see how he's been getting on. As we said, he's had some...
Alan Wright versus Akin Fenway.
I tell you what, a few catch weights, that would be... Alan Wright versus Bayo, that would be funny. He'd wear him like a brooch, wouldn't he? He'd have him in his top pocket trying to get out, poor old Alan. Steve Harmison will be joining us for a chat as well. We're delighted to say we're going to bring you New Zealand, England. White Ball Tour gets underway tomorrow morning. The T20, 7 a.m. on talkSPORT 2.
Slightly concerning comments from Harry Brook today, really, about, what a busy and long winter it's going to be.
Yeah. You think by the time he gets to the Ashes, it'll be a bit...
You do worry. He's a very important player for us. I just wonder if they're putting too much on him with this. But there we go. It's happening. Stan
Collymore going to join us, and we will be looking ahead to the weekend's football. We'll have a Falls panel. These are the games. Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea, live on talkSPORT tomorrow. Game day at 12:30. Liverpool Manchester United, game day live with Sam Matterface. And West Ham Brentford on Monday evening. And we're going to try and predict the scores of those games. If you'd like to have a go and represent the talkSPORT listener, the panel beaters, going rather well at the moment in the league table. So give us a call now. We'll call you back in around an hour and a half's time. We'll need you for 10 minutes to predict the scores of Forest Chelsea, Liverpool Manchester United, West Ham versus Brentford. 03717 22 3344. It's 03717 22 3344. And we look forward to hearing from you. And we'll have a Falls panel. We've got some clips of the week and all manner of other stuff. James Richardson has been involved in the Grand Sumo tournament, the Royal Albert Hall, which is going very well at the moment.
I think they've got the same PR company as the Conquer people. They've got some great stories in.
They have, yeah. They've been riding around in their kimonos on sort of lime bikes around London, haven't they?
Don't sit too close, you'll get squashed. And they've run out of noodles.
It's work.
Run out of noodles. That's rubbish, isn't it?
William A. Bong from the Glasses Company, you mentioned earlier on Elton's Glasses Company.
Rung in?
Oh, no. One of the listeners says Bill A. Bong. Billabong?
Billabong.
That can't be real.
That's true.
Well, you've got to trust Elton. I don't think he's put Billabong on there, has he? Talksport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH&J.
That's a good point.
0371722 3344 to get in touch. We're here with our very good friends.
It might be a joke name, actually, now you look at it. It could be that, couldn't it?
What? Isn't he somebody who should be running it?
The other people involved are J. Bondi Inc. and J. Bondi LLP, which are Australian, Bondi Beach.
Yeah.
So maybe that is...
We've taken a far deeper dive into this than I imagine we would, really, to look at their... We're going to have a look at their books. In the next stick around,
we should have kept Troy in with us.
We got an Excel spreadsheet to look at their books, and we'll put that up on the screen for. No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
We're here with our very good friends at Tool Station. Next stop, Tool Station.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. I'm taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. There's no doubting that the big news story of the day is the decision to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from the European game at Villa Park next week. Toby Gillies has been keeping an eye on developments, and it is a very fast-moving story, Toby, and it wouldn't be at all surprised if we have developments during the course of this show. But where are we at currently?
Well, we've had this statement from Downing Street in the last hour, who have described discussions at pace across government to what they say resolve the ban on Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from going to this game against Aston Villa early next month. It came out last night, didn't it? Aston Villa saying that the council's security advisory group had essentially told them that, on the advice of the police, who said that it was a high-risk event and they weren't convinced that they could keep everybody safe outside the stadium bowl, was the wording, that they've decided to ban these supporters from going there. Obviously, a huge amount of uproar, a huge amount of anger. Some people saying that the outcome of this is anti-Semitic. Some people going so far as to say that the decision is anti-Semitic. Government now involved. The Police and Crime Commissioner of West Midlands Police has ordered an immediate and swift review into the decision. So we will see whether the Security Advisory Group will change their opinion or adapt it potentially. But it's something, as you say, fast-moving. We don't quite know how it will come out, but of course it is worth getting the reaction of some of the people involved. And so I have been speaking this morning to the chair of Jewish Villains, is the official Aston Villa supporters group, Elliot Pollock. Aston Villa say, I'm just going to sort of repeat the detail, that they were informed by Birmingham City Council Safety Advisory Group, which was told by West Midlands Police that it had public safety concerns outside the Stadium Bowl and the ability to deal with any potential protest on the night of this game. Do you feel satisfied that you know exactly, A, who has made this decision, and also exactly why the decision has been made?
I don't know exactly who. I think there's been a bit of buck passing, but I actually agree with the decision in a strange sort of way. I do think it would be unsafe to have thousands of Jewish people roaming around, particularly that area of Birmingham, but the wider region as well, for a whole day. And the cost of policing it and the hassle of policing it would be massively disproportionate for a Europa League group game. However, sometimes things are more important than money and effort, and I think it does say a great deal about the country that people from Israel or Jews from England aren't able to travel and support Tel Aviv. But as for the decision, obviously I haven't seen the intelligence, but I have no doubt it was taken in good faith. And as I said, I would probably endorse it.
You do not believe, as some people seem to, that this decision is an anti-Semitic one?
The decision itself, I'm sure, has not been taken by anyone anti-Semitic or with anti-Semitism in mind. The consequence is anti-Semitic because it's saying to Jewish people, you can't go to a football match in Birmingham as anyone else in the world would be able to do. But I haven't seen any evidence that there's been anti-Semitism involved in the decision-making process by the police or the safety advisory group. No.
We now know that there has been this review ordered by the West Midlands Police and Crime Commissioner. What do you think the outcome for that might be? What would your hope be for that? If you understand it, perhaps it's difficult to find an alternative answer.
I'm almost certain there will be some sort of fudge where 100 or 200 Maccabi Tel Aviv fans, primarily women, children, old people, will come to the game. The security will be intense, and it will pass off without major incidents. And then the club, the city, the police, the government can say, oh, look, we did it. We had a game. It was fantastic. Well done, pat on the back. The truth is they won't have dealt with any of the issues that have caused this problem in the first place. So, as I said, I have no doubt that something will be done once the Prime Minister weighs in, etc. It's very difficult to see how something won't be done. But it will be a box-ticking exercise. It won't address the actual issues.
Can I just ask you what it's like as a Jewish fan in that area going to an Aston Villa game in general at the moment? Do you tend to feel safe around that area?
Yes, absolutely safe. I've been going for 35 years with my dad. We're both visibly Jewish. Never had any problems around the ground, inside the ground, with the club. Absolutely no problems. But I think a multitude of people at the current time would present different problems. The presence of thousands of people waving Israeli flags, for example, may not be too welcome in an area like Aston. And the hyperbolic, almost neurosis of Israeli people, which pretty much means Jews at the moment, means that people will be on edge and the situation will be very difficult for the police. I totally understand that. as I said, I understand the decision. I think it's the correct decision, but it's a really tragic decision. And if anything can be done to make the decision a different one, that would be also ideal.
Would it be fairer, actually, to play the match behind closed doors entirely, or to move it and find an alternative to ensure that these fans can get in? That would send a stronger message about welcoming anyone and everyone to football matches in this country, wouldn't it?
I have no doubt that the average Aston Villa match-going fan, and as I said, I've been going for many years, I've never had a problem, would have no problem with Maccabi Tel Aviv fans coming to the game, enjoying the game, and leaving the stadium safely. So to penalise match-going fans and saying it should be played behind closed doors doesn't make a great deal of sense for me. I also suspect where would be safe, which local city or area would put their hands up and say, yes, we'd love to host this fixture, fantastic. I'm not sure there'd be too many volunteers right now, which, as I said, goes to the heart of something much more complex and deeper. So I don't think that's a valid suggestion. I think the game goes ahead. The game has fans, whether it has Maccabi Tel Aviv fans and how many, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, really interesting chat there, Toby. Elliot Pollock, the chair of the Villa Jewish Supporters Group. The MD of Maccabi was saying earlier on that they were expecting about 1,000 fans potentially to travel to Villa Park. Interested to hear Elliot say there that he thinks maybe there will be some Maccabi fans in there, but maybe not the numbers they were expecting.
Yeah, it's difficult to know exactly which lines the safety advisory group will be going down, working alongside the police. In the end, you would think, if these supporters are going to come along with the Israeli flags that Elliot there was talking about, either they're safe in number or they're not. But of course, the police will say, well, if there are fewer, then perhaps that is a far more easy situation to handle, to deal with, and to ensure the safety of these people. I thought as well that Elliot's point there on potentially moving the game was fascinating, because of course Maccabi Tel Aviv, we're talking about this because it's in England and we're an English sports station, but they've got other away games to play in the Europa League group stage between now and the end of the campaign. Are they going to have this problem absolutely everywhere they go, or is this specifically a problem in England with English policing? We're going to have to wait and see what the government, I guess in the end at the top, they'll make the final decision, you would think, but also the local authorities will do too.
Yeah, as we said, this is a fast-moving story, and there are meetings going on currently, and if there is any breaking news, we will bring it to you over the next 2 and a bit hours. But for now, Toby, thank you very much. Thanks very much. Toby Goodies there. It's Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Steve Harmison will join us. We're delighted to say we're going to bring you the England White Ball Tour in New Zealand, building up to the Ashes, of course. And Harmy's part of our commentary team on talkSPORT 2 from tomorrow at 7 a.m. And we'll talk a bit of Newcastle as well. And Lee Trundle joins us next, Swansea legend, to chat about his boxing match against Anthony Gardner at midnight of Footballers Boxing tomorrow in London.
West Midlands Police and Crime Commissioner is calling for an immediate review of the decision to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from their Europa League game at Aston Villa. Birmingham City Council's Safety Advisory Group said the game presented security concerns following advice from police. While security specialist Will Geddes has told talkSPORT we deserve a bit more information.
These are answers that people need to hear, and if they don't have them, again, a chasm of distrust can start building between supporters and groups like this that are preventing them from enjoying football.
Senior government figures are meeting later to discuss the next steps. Elsewhere today, ahead of Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea, live on talkSPORT tomorrow lunchtime, Cole Palmer is out for another 6 weeks with a groin injury. But Enzo Maresca says he doesn't need surgery.
We try just to protect Cole as much as we can. Unfortunately, the medical staff, they are no magician. You never know that. Probably you need 6 weeks. We hope that 6 weeks they are enough.
And the funeral of Matt Beard is taking place at Liverpool's Metropolitan Cathedral. Ian Rush, Leanne Sanderson, Casey Stoney and Farrah Williams are all there.
Yes, if you want the chance to win £100,000, you better listen up right now. That's right, our biggest cash prize to date has landed. We're going all in, giving you the chance to win that huge 100 grand completely tax-free. Listen up now for all the details and how to enter.
18 plus UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 6th of November at 4 p.m. This is a TalkSPORT limited promotion run on TalkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Now, over the last couple of months, a number of former professional footballers have been training for a big night of boxing. I think in many cases, they haven't boxed before, so it's sort of virgin territory for them. This is the bill. David Bentley versus Jody Morris. Jody came into the studio, I think, with Jim and Simon a little while ago.
Good match, I think.
Yeah. Marvin Elliott versus Greg Halford. Paddy Kenny versus Curtis Davis. Leroy Lita versus David Noble. And our next guest is taking on the former Spurs Port Vale defender, Anthony Gardner. And that is Swansea legend, Lee Trundle. Good afternoon, Lee.
How you doing, guys? You okay?
We're not so bad. Oh, you're looking lean, Lee. You are. You look
trim.
I mean, it seems like I saw Anthony Gardner talking about the fight and saying that, you know, it's given him that kind of competitive spirit back, things he's missed since his playing days. Have you really enjoyed it?
Oh yeah, I've loved every minute of it. I've been in with Enzo Maccarinelli, so former world champion, and to be fair, I've been in with him Monday to Friday for the 7-week camp now. And as you say, I've trimmed down a bit. I've lost 8 kilos. I'm down to 9.3% body fat. So worked really hard, and I'm ready to go now.
You're going to keep it up, Lee, you think? I mean, not obviously competitively. We don't expect you to sort of see you in with Hamza Shiraz, but still, I mean, the actual training side of it.
Yeah, 100%. I want to keep that up because I've just seen a massive difference. I've been doing me football on top of that as well until I stopped that 3 weeks ago just in case I got injured. But the training in itself, I've been loving it, and even the sparring. I've been getting in with the boxers in there, some semi-pro, some pro, and even though they're looking after me in there, they're still catching me with shots when we're sparring. But it's felt really good, and as Anthony said there, it's a fresh challenge and something that I've really enjoyed.
Can you take a punch?
Yeah, I've been all right with them. Obviously, they're not hitting me their full force because then we have to get on the bag and do a finisher at the end of every session. And I wouldn't fancy getting it by some of them that hitting that bag with. But they're still hitting me enough. So it's they said that, and Enzo said himself, he wants to make it as hard as possible in the gym. So when it comes fight night, I'll find it easier. So I'm hoping that'll be the case.
How many rounds? What's the format then, Lee?
It's 3 2-minute rounds. So it doesn't sound that long, but if you're in there having a fight, especially in them spars as well, what I've been having, them 2 minutes can last long when you're feeling tired. But as I say, the work that I've put in, I'm confident that I can go out and do the job.
We were saying that Anthony's a bit Tommy Hearns on you. He's very rangy, he's very tall, long reach. So it's not going to be easy, is it?
Oh no, of course it's not. It's not going to be easy for any of us because I think, the only experience I've had is these 7 weeks. So, you're getting in as a real novice. But I've been working with Enzo on stuff. Obviously, Anthony has got the longer reach on me, so it's how we capitalise against that. So we've been working on some game plans in there. And I've enjoyed that side of it as well, even though I'm miles off compared to their level. It's still nice to go into another sport and to realise how hard it is as well. I've always had respect for boxers and when you get in there. But, until you do it yourself and you realise how tough it is, you have even more respect.
You were, as a player, a bit fancy down at times. Are we going to see the Ali shuffle? We're going to see a bit of that showboating going on?
Not in 7 weeks, no. No, I think, obviously as a footballer, I had all them years to hone them skills in. Where in this boxing, I think you're going to see just more aggressive and more on the front foot.
Two things, really. Did you ever play against Anthony? And did you ever get into a fight on the pitch?
No, I never. I can't remember playing against him. No, and no, I had a few scuffles where I've been sent off, but not proper fights.
Did you ever take a punch on? I mean, you took a few elbows. I'm sure the centre halves you would have played against, but did you ever take a punch on the pitch?
No, on the pitch, you never really see that. People will have arguments and stuff like that. You'll see the odd one. Obviously, going back when I first started playing, especially going into non-league as a 16, 17-year-old, when you could tackle and when you talk about elbows, that was a big thing. It was always put your mark on the centre forward first. So, I've had plenty of knocks, and growing up in where I did in Liverpool, I've had plenty of scuffles growing up. So it's not going to be new to me getting in and getting it.
You said you've had a little break from football, but you're still playing this season, Lee, yeah?
Yeah, still playing. I didn't want to pick any injuries up when I'd worked so hard. So as soon as this fight's over, I'll be back into it in the season with the lads and, hopefully push on and try and get promotion for us.
So, yeah, it should be a good night. I mean, Stacky has been in to tell us all about it. Graham Stack, the organiser, one of the organisers of the night. But it sounds like the tickets are sold well, so you're going to have a decent crowd at the Grosvenor House tomorrow night, aren't you?
Yeah, it will be, and that's one thing I'm looking forward to as well. People have been asking, I'm a nervous and stuff, but I think that I've put all the work in with Enzo, so I'm just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the ring walk as well, and getting out there and entertaining in front of the crowd.
Have you got music?
Yeah, have you got your walk-on? Have you got any walk-on music?
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise. So okay. One of my friends from Liverpool is a DJ, so he's done something for me.
And you got something interesting written on the shorts? Have you done a bit of that all going on, is it?
Yeah, no, just my normal nickname, just Fruns on it. Nothing fancy in it, just going in there and trying to get the job done. So I'll stay away from all that flair and skill. I'll just try and work hard and get the job done.
Well, we hope it's a good night. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll get all the fallout from the fight card, I'm sure, on Monday. Just a word on Swansea. Look pretty solid. It's a lot of teams. Everybody from sort of 11th to 16th is on 12 points. So there's still plenty to play for. Not a million miles off the playoff position. So what have you made of the start?
Yeah, I think it's been a good start. Obviously, we've had a couple of late goals scored against us, which is obviously not nice and something that the team have been working on. But I think overall, as a start, it's been very good. I don't think you've seen someone who's going to run away with it this year. As you say, with the points, how close it is there, you know, especially them playoff places, there's a lot of people in contention. And you know what the championship's like, you know, you only need to put a little run together of 4 or 5 games and it pops you right up that table. So, you know, we've had some tough games at the start. But looking forward to the rest of the season, and I'm happy with the way it's going up to now.
You had a couple of years at Wrexham as well, Lee. There maybe was an expectation that they would just waltz through the championship, having done so well. But look, it's not going all their own way at the moment. What have you made of how they've kicked off in the championship?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like this in the Championship. When they went from the National League to League Two, I said they'd get promoted, even League Two to League One. As I thought they'd do the same again, which they did, because I don't think the levels are that much. But when you go up to the Championship now, that gap is a little bit bigger. So I thought that they would have the start that they'd have. I think that they've done really well, because, you know, people forget that, you know, they've bounced up so quickly to be still holding their own in the Championship. Championship is a good level for them this season, but I think that they'll be okay. I think that they'll stay in the league, and I'm looking forward to the Swansea-Wrexham game as well, which will be a good one.
Yeah, that should be a lively day, shouldn't it, really?
Definitely.
Well, look, enjoy it tomorrow night, Lee. As I said, I'm sure we'll get all the fallout on Monday. And, but you raise lots of money as well, which is the important thing. Have a good time. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, guys. Speak to you soon.
Take it easy.
Should be a good night.
Thank you.
Lovely venue, too.
Lee Trundle there. Yeah, Grosvenor House, it'd be cracking. So I hope it all goes well for all they're putting a lot of hard work, the team behind it. So I hope it's a cracking night for whoever's going. And you can, and we'll get all the fallout, I'm sure, on Monday from the Jaffa kick, anyone. Now, on the boxing front, tonight, Kieran Conway puts his British and Commonwealth middleweight titles on the line against undefeated George Liddard at another legendary venue, York Hall, Bethnal Green. You can watch live tonight only on DAZN. We're going to be chatting to Steve Harmison in a few moments' time. We're going to bring you England's white ball tour of New Zealand live on talkSPORT 2, getting underway 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And Harmy's part of our team, of course. We'll look at the white ball team heading there, some of the other interesting talking points from it. And indeed, we'll squeeze a bit of Newcastle in ahead of the return of the Premier League. That's all to come. We're here, as always, with our good friends at Toolstation. And stay one step ahead, whatever the job. Next stop, Toolstation.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion?
That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it, Biggs.
Oh, he's got a full swing of that. Oh, Lord. Just Butler. Young. Jimmy Neesham heaves it out to deep mid-wicket for 6.
Such excitement around this series, and obviously England a quality team, so we're looking forward to an awesome clash.
She goes, oh, that's a beauty! That is an absolute stunning, magnificent googly from Adil Rashid.
Bracewell, New Zealand 2 needed from 2, and once again he goes, and he's got a 6.
Maharajan, down the wicket comes Sam Curran, that's a wonderful hit.
Bethel gets a shot, but he's pulling in the air out to the right leg area, that's gone for 6. What a shot there from Bethel.
You don't want to go off and put the kettle on here, do you? You're going to miss something. Every single ball, something's happening.
Yeah, you heard from Goffey there. I think he's going to be joining us for this New Zealand white ball series. Gets underway with the first T20 tomorrow at 7 a.m, live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2. Steve Harmison has joined us. He's part of our commentary team, of course, former England fast bowler. Hi, Harmy.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
There are some things that will arise from this white ball tour that will feed into the Ashes, and we were just chatting off air about batting at 3. Will it be Pope? Will it be Bethel? If he plays well, maybe Bethel could get the nod. Do you favour one or the other?
Not really. I think, without sounding sort of disrespectful to Ollie, because let's be fair, Ollie's been asked a lot of in the last 3 years in the way of batting up the order, batting down the order. You know, he had kept wicket, he's been vice-captain, he's been captain, he's had the vice-captaincy taken off him, averaging mid-30s. Jacob Bethel probably going to average mid-30s. It's which one do you want to average mid-30s in a series of batting at number 3 in our really problem position. So I think Pope's done enough to get the nod. He starts the series, if you remember, in India when we were out there. Me, Manners, and one or two others were out there. He got 190 in Hyderabad in the first Test match, and then dropped off. So I think he deserves.
He does that all the time.
He does it all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did it in the summer, didn't he?
He did it in the summer.
Big
yeah.
100,
and then there's a drop off. So yeah, I think that's probably England's biggest headache. I think when Australia's biggest headache is their bowling conundrum.
Yeah.
I think England's biggest headache is getting the bowling combinations right, because they're all more or less fit, and who is going to bat at number 3? Everything else is sorted. The top 6, the others of the top 7 are all sorted, and it'll be interesting. Bethel's going to bat 3 in the T20s and the 50 over competition, and it's a little bit like the starter before the main course, isn't it? This New Zealand series, but I think England have to have one eye on the World Cup coming up, because we've got a T20 World Cup coming up round the corner in, I think, February, March time. And England will want to make sure that this team, doesn't have the Ashes in the sort of looking too far ahead.
Sure,
they need to make sure that they nail this, because it's a big series for the likes of Jordan Cox, who's potentially going to bat number 7, and Sam Curran, who's come back into the group, who a lot of people from outside this camp think why is he not playing? And I think from inside the camp, he's got to prove to a lot of people that he's a valued member of this group.
He's one of the best players in the IPL. He's a great white ball player, but, What about Harry Brook, though? Are you slightly worried about him in terms of in the paper this
What
morning.
workload do you think?
Yeah, he's saying, it's going to be a very busy winter. There's a lot on him. He's a very important player for England.
He is, Andy, and I think the thing with that is if you score him runs, you'll have a game of cricket every day. It's when you're not scoring runs and the pressure's on, then all of a sudden, back end of the Ashes could come to be very, very difficult, both physically and both mentally. But I think he looks as though he's in a decent spot. Listening to his interview, seeing him speak, he's got a spring in him step. He's captain, so hopefully that will inspire him to get off to a good start in these white ball games to lead into the Ashes. You mentioned about Harry Brook. He's one of England's best players, but that there is a little bit, like the summer at the Oval, there is a little bit of calamitous sometimes comes into Harry's game, which I think...
A high-risk player.
He is a high-risk player.
And I was saying to you off air, he needs to be dropped about 3 times, then he can make a really big score, but... He's a tremendous player.
He is an unbelievable...
He's not going to change the way he plays.
And he shouldn't change the way he plays, but there are times where a little bit of a sort of smart decision can take the game away from the opposition, and you can potentially get away with it in England against 1 or 2 teams. It showed you in the summer. You couldn't get away with it in India when he played that wonderful knock and then got out against India and we lost. And he's potentially going to be in that position again in the cauldron of the battle of the Ashes. So, he doesn't need me to tell him some of the mistakes he's made, but some of the mistakes he's made have been when he's got England into a winning position. Do you want to take that away from him? Definitely not.
Wood and Archer is an exciting prospect.
Yeah, and there's a bit of news on Mark Wood. I know you were having a chat with him yesterday, and he's saying he's quietly optimistic that he'll be fit for the first test.
Yeah, he'll be fit. I think I don't think England would have took him first and foremost if he wasn't fully fit. They're only taking 16, and I know the Lions are going. Andrew Flintoff's got the Lions going alongside them, so there are bowlers out there. But he's fit, he's strong, he's ready to go. Ben Stokes I'm hearing, is in a good place as well. He's fit and strong and ready to go. So I think all signs already that England have got a bowling attack that can take 20 wickets in Australian conditions, and having Wood and Archer, I think, up your sleeve at your disposal for Ben and Brendan is massive. I'd throw them out in the first test match. I'd play 5. I wouldn't play a spinner in the first 2 test matches. I really wouldn't. I'd go with... and the reason why I'd say that is because if you've got a spinner, you potentially put pressure on Ben and the third seamer if the spinner doesn't bowl very well. Yeah. And it's not Graham Swan, let's be fair, and no disrespect to Shoaib Bashir, but Shoaib Bashir hasn't been able to...
Gets people out, though.
He gets people out, but he goes at 6s and 7s and 8s and over, and I'm not sure you can afford to do that, so especially in the Ashes. So it'll be interesting to see how they utilise Bashir. But for me, I would play Atkinson, Carse, Wood, Archer and Stokes in them first 2 test matches. Bearing in mind, the second test match is with a pink ball under lights. No real reason for a spinner there. And if you've got them 5 bowlers, it means you can look after Wood and you can look after Stokes' workload, as well as having backups. All of a sudden, if you've got Bashir and you can't bowl him because he's going around the park, all of a sudden you're putting pressure and overs into Ben that you don't really want him to be bowling, just because that's the way I would look at going into that first test match. And then, let's say the second test match is with a pink ball. I wouldn't even take Bashir to Brisbane. Leave him in Adelaide.
We're going to hear
about the Australian attack. Oh, go on.
We're going to hear from Tim Southey because the phony war's underway, isn't it? We've heard David Warner say, England will win. They'll lose 4-1 because they just want a moral victory. And we haven't heard Glenn McGrath say it, but he's almost certainly already said they're going to win 5-0.
Oh, Warner.
And they're all there. Exactly, yeah. So everybody's doing their thing. Stuart Broad has said he thinks it's the worst Australian side since 2010.
Not helpful.
Tim Southey, the England bowling coach, begs to differ.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever a bad Australian cricket team, but I think you look at how good they've been for so long, and you look at the side now. It's obviously a changing time for them. So I think, I think our focus is firmly on what we're trying to do. It's a tough place to go on tour, but it's an exciting challenge, an exciting series coming up.
We were saying, weren't we, Army, that before the interview, that Australia's attack, although it's brilliant, it's old. And it could just drop off at any point. I mean, they really are.
What, a series too far?
They're reaching that stage, aren't they? All of them, I mean, I still think Cummins will be there the first test match, but there we go.
The first, you think?
I do, yeah. I think so.
What's your intelligence telling you?
Kidology.
Mine is that there's too much noise for him not to be there. For him to be there.
To be there.
I think there's too much noise, and I think the bonus from England is if he misses the first one, potentially misses the second one, they're probably the best 2 test matches from a bowling-friendly point of view. You know, Perth, quick bouncy wicket. Brisbane with the Gabba and with the lights.
Yeah.
They're probably the 2 venues that you want to be bowling seamers at. So if he misses them, they're massive. I agree. It is getting an older attack, but they're a good side. They're a good bowling attack, and one last hurrah and all that.
That's what it could be.
You seen, I played in Warner McGrath's last Test series, and there was no drop off with them 2. So I don't fully go with what Stuart's saying. This is the worst Australian side. I think they've got problems at the top of the order, and I think they've got problems with their bowlers if the captain's not playing. It was great to hear Warner.
Yeah,
just it's a bit different when it's not coming out of Glenn McGrath's mouth. And I don't really want to have another go at Steve Smith, but if we're talking about moral victories and stuff like that, the morality of everything that's going, Steve Smith being captain of what happened in Port Elizabeth, not sure the Australians can throw the moral issue back at us when their captain was sacked under the moral code of cricket.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If we want to start going down that road, I think England can throw a few stones back towards David Warner and Australia.
So ball by ball commentary, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning over on talkSPORT 2. We'll have regular updates here on talkSPORT teams and the toss, of course, from 6:30. You can also watch along on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. And just finally, Harmy, you and Leon McKenzie are about to embark on your 5th series of After the Lights Go Out, the show where you chat to sports people about life after sport and the difficulties of it.
Yeah, I can't wait. We've got Sharon Davis in about an hour coming in to have a talk about her career, and we've got some good ones lined up. Ashley Giles, former teammate of mine, Colin Jackson, Stephen Reid, who's been with the England under-21s. They're all confirmed who are going to come on the show. And we're
it's
kicking
more
off.
relevant than ever. This,
absolutely.
Obviously, what happened in the news that what came with Ricky Hatton yesterday, and we've seen the outpouring of grief with Ricky in the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's more important than ever to show that your sporting heroes are human beings. Show that there are the frailties in their life, even though when they're on the big stage, and also look to people that they are having problems, and you can talk to people, and by doing this show and highlighting these issues, hopefully we can help just one person go through, and help them, kick on with their life and get their heads up.
All the existing shows with the likes of Carl Frampton, Kieran Dyer, Wayne Bridge, Rebecca Adlington, they're available as a podcast on the talkSPORT app or your favourite podcast provider. Thanks, Harmony. I'll hear from you tomorrow.
Cheers, boys.
Steve Armisen there, former England fast bowler, with you from 7 a.m. tomorrow for England's white ball tour of New Zealand, the first T20. Still to come with us, James Richardson tells us if he's enjoying the sumo. He's been working at the Royal Albert Hall for this Grand Sumo tournament, 5 days. We're a couple of days in, so we'll catch up with James later. Stan Collymore welcomes back the Premier League, and we'll have a Falls panel. Just a reminder of the games we're covering today, which I did have in front of me. Where have they gone? Anyway, I'll bring them to you in a moment. Which I think we've got a panel beater anyway, but if not, I'll bring them to you shortly. Spurs supporting comedian Carl Donnelly popping in to see us very shortly to chat about his new show. That's all to come off Toby Gillies with the sports headlines.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon. Aston Villa's official Jewish supporters group has told talkSPORT banning Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from their Europa League game is the correct decision. Chair Elliot Pollock said it's regrettable, but accepts it might be unsafe for thousands of Jewish people to roam the area. Elliot expects government intervention to provide a fudge where a few hundred, mainly women, children or older fans, will be allowed in.
Security will be intense and it will pass off without major incidents. And then the club, the city, the police, the government can say, oh, look, we did it. We had a game. It was fantastic. Well done, pat on the back. The truth is they won't have dealt with any of the issues that have caused this problem in the first place.
Mikel Arteta has told Victor Gyökeres not to buckle under the pressure at Arsenal after 6 games without a goal. He says part of the challenge of being a 9 for a huge club is not changing your game when you're in a long drought. Cole Palmer is out for another 6 weeks with a groin injury, but Enzo Maresca continues to insist he won't need surgery.
We try just to protect Cole as much as we can. Unfortunately, the medical staff, they are no magician. You never know that. Probably you need 6 weeks. We hope that 6 weeks they are enough.
It's 9 games missed. If he doesn't come back sooner, you can hear Chelsea's trip to Nottingham Forest live on talkSPORT tomorrow lunchtime. Liverpool are hunting a first win in 3 against Manchester United on Sunday, but will have to do it without Alisson still. Fitness concerns over Ibrahima Konate and Ryan Gravenberch have, though, been eased. Rodri will miss Manchester City's game with Everton with a thigh injury. And Matt Beard, the former Liverpool women's boss, has been laid to rest in the city after his death last month, aged 47. His brother Mark says we should all learn from it, that we must all be more thoughtful.
talkSPORT News.
3 neo-Nazis who plotted terror attacks on synagogues and mosques have been jailed for up to a combined 29 years. And Palestine Action is still allowed to appeal its ban as a terror organisation. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit, your go-to destination for quality tyres from great brands like Continental. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Another cloudy day for most of us. Patchy drizzle in the far north and east. That drizzle will move south later. A grey and windy weekend ahead.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. James Richardson of Football Italia fame, of course. He is involved in the sumo at, not competing, at Royal Albert Hall, and we'll be catching up with him a little bit later on to find out how it's going. Stan Collymore welcomes back the Premier League, and we'll have a Falls panel for you as well. Forest, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, West Ham versus Brentford. They're the games we're covering today. We just want your predictions of those scores. 03717 223344. That's 03717 223344. You can call us now. Call you back at around 2:45. We need you for about 10 minutes. And you can take us on and our commentator Jim Proudfoot and Stan. But joining us in the studio, ain't a welcome return, is comedian and Spurs fan Carl Donnelly. Good afternoon, Carl.
Hi, guys.
Good to see you.
I've not been in since this studio's had a makeover.
Oh, yes, a pretty major
so
one.
Swanky.
Yeah, we're still the same.
Feel like you're on at the World Cup or
Still
something.
got Waldorf and Statler sitting here, but what you going to do? Your 14th solo show, another round.
I know. It's too many. It's too many.
It's too. It doesn't say that on the poster, does it? It's too. It's too many, says Carl.
Someone should have a word.
Yeah,
that's enough.
Yes, yes.
Take me out better
You
than a
have.
horse.
I mean, the kind of comic backdrop to this is that you were sick last year. Your baby daughter was sick as well.
Yeah.
You were both hospitalised. So
Yep.
not on the face of it a recipe for big laughs, but
No.
you're both all right now. Thank you.
Totally fine.
Good.
Right, and she was even sicker than me.
Wow.
She had meningitis, my
Oh,
daughter.
no, wow.
And bacterial as well, the really even worse one. But she's at 100% fine. It was
Good.
For about, she was in hospital for 23 nights, I think it was.
That's very worrying.
Really scary. scary. But then, you know, like, as kids are, the moment she's out of hospital, it was like nothing had happened. Like she'd forgotten about it within about a day, and me and my wife had 6 months of PTSD.
And does that experience sort of feed into the show a bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Because a lot of it's about health. Because I just also got sick, and it's also that I'm quite healthy, and they were two freak illnesses. You know, like whereas I think a part of the show is about chilling out about health. Because now I don't know what my Instagram feed and things like that now is just all health advice. Since I hit middle age, it's just people telling me what to eat. And like, I used to get a bit obsessed with it, and I've realised, having had a serious illness that I couldn't have done anything about, and my daughter getting one, actually you can only do so much, and you could still get caught out. So you might as well relax about it.
Yeah, it's a good point actually.
So what other things are you going to be talking about on the road?
I mean, it's a lot of it is. Do you know what? A lot of it is about some of the experiences I went through with the health stuff. There's some quite graphic stuff about things like colonoscopies and
not videos.
No, I talked through the fact that
fantastic voyage.
Yeah, I had 2 colonoscopies, and the second one I chose to be awake for it, just because they gave me the option.
Right,
and I talked through how that backfires.
They make you a bit. Literally they make you a bit woozy, don't they? Can do that.
They didn't for me. So they properly just gave me a little throat. For the endoscopy, the throat spray, and the colonoscopy, they went in cold.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what the phrase is.
I don't think cold is the phrase.
Yeah, just purely right, here you go.
This happened during the Melbourne Comedy Festival, didn't it?
Yeah, when it first started, it was the Melbourne Comedy Festival, and then I got the all clear from everything in September. So I'd done Melbourne then, and so I had to cancel the start of Melbourne, and then I ended up doing Edinburgh. And about 3 weeks after Edinburgh, I got the all clear. Because I basically got internal bleeding, which I didn't think you could just get. It feels like it should be the result of
some sort of trauma that would lead to it.
Yeah, no, but I picked up a bug that just caused loads of ulcers that I didn't know I had, and they ruptured.
Wow.
So yeah, again, I talked through for about 3 weeks I was internally bleeding, and I put it down to that I was taking a break from coffee.
Okay, so that's probably somebody who said on TikTok. That's probably what it was.
But you were all right for Spurs' great triumph in the.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was I was very much all right for that.
How did you feel about that, Carl? I'm quite conflicted by it, and I shouldn't be, because it was a European trophy win. Yeah. But it came at a time when I'd sort of checked out on that manager and that team and that season. I'd had enough of it by then, and I couldn't quite. I was delighted we did it. Yeah. But I couldn't quite rally enough to enjoy it maybe in a way that I thought I would have done after all that time.
I hear what you're saying, actually, because I remember going to watch the match. I didn't go to the match, but I remember watching it in a pub in London, and I didn't get to the pub excited. I got to the pub just like, oh, here we go. Also, I just assumed we were going to throw it away.
Yeah.
And then I remember, I got a pint.
Maybe that was it. We started from such a low bar. We've been so beaten down by defeat after defeat and the injuries. Yeah. Maybe it was that.
But the moment we got that first goal, and I could see how we were playing and how bad Man United were, I suddenly had this weird zen-like moment come over me of we're going to win this. And I got really excited, and as the match went on, I lost my mind. By the end of it, I was really, really into it.
Yeah. I know people who were there who it meant a lot.
Of course.
They were years of suffering, in a sense.
Yeah. That's what I didn't realise I'd feel like. But I do feel at the end of, when the final whistle went, I did feel emotional. And I felt like it did feel like it was we've been through a lot. I don't know. It's not. It's only sport, isn't it?
That's what you had actually been really through a lot. So I think maybe it's that. You put some perspective on.
But I didn't get emotional about my own health, just Tottenham's.
Yeah. So how are you feeling about the early days of the Thomas Frank?
A lot better, isn't it?
Yeah, it does feel a bit more calm, doesn't it?
That's true.
We got a bit. I mean, we did that classic thing that Spurs fans do every time. You win one match looked good. Richarlison scores, and you're like, we're gonna be amazing this year.
Yeah.
And then within a couple of matches,
you're losing to Bournemouth. You're getting scored by Bournemouth the following week, aren't you? Really?
But I think we have to remind ourselves, it's a new manager, loads of new players. It's going to take time. The fact that we're still not losing, the fact that we've got a couple of last-minute draws that's a good sign of team morale.
Resilience.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting down to the wetlands with my binoculars and seeing the lesser-spotted Kola Moana. Well, it's fantastic to see, because I've never seen one. Actually, I saw one for 30.
Got a dead leg, apparently.
Saw one for 30 seconds. He got booked, and that was it in Europe.
Yeah, but for considering how exciting it was as a last minute, oh my God, we've got this guy.
I'm just glad the leg came back to life, because it's the deadest of dead legs he had. He played in a behind closed doors game with Watford. I just hoping they didn't get Troy out there to kick him. But he played last Friday, so I think he could well be on the bench.
Yeah. Who they got this weekend?
We got to Villa at home, which will be an interesting game, because Tottenham's problems at home have been against, I mean, well, I say that Bournemouth
Good
didn't sit
record
back.
against Villa, though.
But,
They always beat Villa.
Yeah, we do have a good a good record against Villa, but there is a feeling at the moment under Frank that we need to show more going forward.
Yes.
Don't we? Maybe Simons as a 10 will help that, give us a little bit more. We don't want to be too negative, if you like, in midfield with sort of 3 defence-minded players.
I know that seems to be. I think the Paulinho and Bentancur thing that is not a good pairing. I don't think.
I mean, Bergvall is a bit more progressive, but still, it's not like having a playmaker.
No. So hopefully we see something a bit more exciting this.
Yeah. So you head off to Oz though, don't you? Your wife's Australian. You go and spend a fair bit of the year in Oz these days.
Well, we're actually sort of moving there.
Okay.
End of the year, we've got another baby on the way, and we've decided to have it down there. So we're going to leave and have the baby down there in March, and then just stay for a while, and see how that feels. And I'm going to be coming back, a few times a year to see my mum and everything, and like gigs
So you'll be watching football at all weird and wonderful times, won't you, from now on? Like, depending on the kickoff time.
Do you know what? Whenever I'm down there, like, there's nothing more depressing than getting up at 5 a.m. and watching us lose. Like, it's a full-on day ruiner. Normally you lose. If you lose an 8 o'clock match, by bedtime, you've only got an hour to get over it. Or to let it sink in and then you're asleep. But like having to lose and like it's 7 a.m, you have your breakfast after you've lost.
Whereabouts will you be in Australia?
In Melbourne.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. So you're anything between about sort of 9 and 11, 12 hours?
Yeah.
1.11 hours or something.
Yeah, so it's not great for football.
No.
But I'm still going to have to, I'll do my bit. I'll get up most matches.
There's a Melbourne Spurs supporters club. We occasionally venture down and watch a game with them. Max Rushton, you can catch up with Max.
Rushton's there, yep. And there's the Tottenham supporters go and watch the match in a great pub called the Imperial. It's a really cool pub, sort of. They've invited me a few times when I'm there, but I've never been able to make it so far.
And do they get a special extension when these games are on like sort of 2 in the morning? And
yeah, I think they do, yeah.
There you go.
Which is a good excuse for all-night drinking, isn't it?
It is.
So the tour starts. Is it underway already? You out?
Yeah, I've done. I only did one date, and then it properly kicks off next week. Really, and it's only a small tour, but I'm getting around the place like more than I think my last tour. I only did a little tour, but this one feels a bit more around the country.
So you can go and see Carl's show, Another Round, and where can we find all the details?
It's on my website, carldonnelly.info, because somebody, I'd forgot to renew .co.uk and someone stole it.
Really?
So now I've got
some sort of ransom on you.
Yeah, like I think it was during when my daughter was sick and in hospital, so I wasn't really on top of admin.
That's got to be a bot hoovering those up.
Yeah.
As soon as they drop, that's poor, isn't it?
Yeah. It was mad because I missed the emails.
Is
I went
there
to
another
renew
Carl
it.
Donnelly? Surely there's only one.
I don't think there is. And then suddenly it was to renew it cost. It wasn't even it wasn't crazy. But it was like £500 to buy my own domain. And just on general principle, I went no. So I bought one which is .info.
They're going to be stuck with it, aren't they?
Yeah. What are they going to do?
It's not alerting to the fact you can get the Aussie version of it. That's definitely
hardly anyone visits my one. It's the real.
That's you've wasted your own money, whoever you are. No one's visiting it. Yeah. Thank you, Carl.
Cheers, guys.
And best luck with the tour and up the Spurs, and we'll see you soon. Thanks very much.
Mate.
Carl Donnelly there, and catch him on tour in Another Round. Enjoying life at the Albert Hall for 5 days is James Richardson, who is one of the compares for the Grand Sumo tournament that's unfolding currently. We'll head to the Albert Hall and have a chat with James very, very shortly. We're here with our good friends at Tool Station, ready to help at over 580 stations nationwide. Next stop, Tool Station.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
If you want the chance to win up to £100,000, you better listen up right now. That's right, our biggest cash prize to date has landed. We're going all in and giving you the chance to win that huge 100 grand completely tax-free. Listen up now for all the details and how to enter.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 6th of November at 4 p.m. This is a TalkSPORT limited promotion run on TalkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Now, at the Royal Albert Hall in London, as opposed to the one in Preston, I guess. Bit of a daft thing. But, you know, you can only be too London-centric.
Oh, yeah. That's all right, Clive.
There is the Grand Sumo competition unfolding. All the greats of sumo have decamped from Japan to the Albert Hall, where it last took place in 1991, a big event of this size. And front and centre, comparing over the 5 days, is a man we know from his football exploits, of course, Football Italia. Lots of other fine work as well. It is James Richardson, and he joins us now. Hi, James.
Hi, Hawksbee Jacobs. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. I suppose my first thought was, does James speak Japanese? And I've subsequently found that you do a bit, James. Is that right?
I mean, a bit. If you speak Japanese, then I wouldn't claim to, but I can get by. Yeah.
You're not sitting there with the Tokyo Times going through it.
Yes, that's right. With some rice cakes and a glass of Japanese tea, cup of Japanese tea, that would be fantastic. Or that what they're saying? I wonder what is being said in Japan with everybody decamping here from sumo fans. I imagine the Japanese press are quite interesting at the moment.
They're really interested in this. I have the very great fortune to be co-presenting with a gentleman called Morita Hiro-san, Hiro Morita, and he is the kind of the voice of sumo, certainly English language, but a guy who's very much the official spokesperson, or certainly covers the sumo internationally for them. And he's been saying that everyone's been calling him, saying, we've been seeing stuff from you in London. It's amazing what's going on there. Newspapers, TV, everybody's been carrying this story. It's an interesting one. There's that kind of cross-cultural excitement of seeing the sumo wrestlers out there on e-bikes and stuff like that, streets of London, or on London transport or whatever. But beyond that, I think it's just a really fun story.
It's a spectacle, isn't it? This, I mean, the actual fights can be over in seconds, but it's all the stuff before. It's the entry, the facing each other, the chucking of the rice in the air, and all that stuff.
So I think that's the thing. I mean, some of them can be really quick. Some of them can go on for a fair bit, but the fights last much longer than the fighting, if you know what I mean. The pre-tactics that go on in and around all the rituals that they perform, the bowing, the squatting, the opening of the palms, the leg raises, and the throwing of the rice can all take a part in trying to unsettle or at least size up their opponents. And a lot of times you'll see them getting quite antsy with each other over one of them getting ready to start and then going, no, I'm going to go back to my corner for a second, get some more salt and chuck that in the air. Just when the other thinks he's getting ready, boom, he's got to delay another minute or two. So it's oh look, you can see pictures of me there.
We can.
Hey, it does look magnificent. The thing behind me, the doyo that they've constructed there at the center of the Royal Albert Hall, which just looks fantastic, and it is 100% authentic as a sumo venue now.
They've all sold out, James. What is the kind of mix of audience? Is it sort of Japanese expats, people who come over specifically, lots of Brits as well?
There are a lot of Brits, or at least people who've flown over because they follow, well, a lot of Hiro-san's YouTube channel, the official Japan Sumo Association's YouTube channel. A lot of people there coming up every day to ask for autographs and photos, and they're all for him. They're all for him. Wow. Everyone's very, very excited to see him. So I was expecting maybe some old Channel 4 viewers from back in the kind of 80s, early 90s, or expats, as you say, and there definitely are some of those, but mostly it's people who have a real passion for sumo through the YouTube.
It's amazing. I once got an incredible rollicking from the head of Channel 4.
Did you?
Because I was doing the international daily news on the channel, or the international news on the Channel 4 daily, and it was announced that Channel 4 were going to do sumo. So I said they were going to combine it with the Italian football, and I paint boxed Gazza's head on a sumo's body. Absolutely
quite route one.
I know. He went absolutely mad with me.
Really?
But in the end,
you and your comedy skits.
Italian football got dropped, didn't it? And they did have sumo. So, there was a sort of...
But you're not bitter about sumo, James, which is good.
What's that?
Well, Andy is claiming that they dropped Italian football for sumo, but it wasn't quite. Well, it wasn't quite as clear cut as that, was it?
Quite.
If so, then I'm probably Italian football's revenge on sumo with my presenting this week. But no, I wasn't aware that it was quite so divided. But we had 10 years on Channel 4, which is probably more than enough. And I think it would be great to have sumo back on British TV.
Yeah, I miss you from the Euro nights, to be really honest.
Yeah, okay.
I loved that show.
The goal show was such a great watch. Sometimes I think, I know, if it works, don't fix it. And I love that show.
It was a great panel. It was knowledgeable. It was funny. It was, for me, it was perfect. But there you go. That's broadcasting. It's not. For you.
There we are. I mean, you can say nothing, James, but we can blow smoke up your backside, and we mean
well, no,
it.
you're very kind. You're very kind. My cheeks are parted.
So 3 more nights. So how does it sort of all unfold? Do we get down to a sort of grand final? How does it work?
Yes, it does. How does it work? I think I'm not entirely clear on how the bouts are arranged, but there are 40 wrestlers here in London, and each night, each of them will fight a different opponent. Selected, I think, because they know which levels are going to provide an interesting matchup. When we get down to the 4th day, when people's records of wins and losses make it a little bit clearer who's in line to be champion and who's not, they will stage it so that the very final bout will be the 2 fighters with the best record, almost certain to be the 2 yokozunas, who are the very, very highest level of sumo wrestlers, and they'll probably finish off the grand tournament on Sunday night around about 5 to 10, because they're tremendously punctual. And then we'll have a London champion. On the subject of the yokozuna, there's so many amazing things about sumo, but I think one of the most staggering is that this is a sport with about 1,500 years of history, certainly in terms of modern sport, which is in inverted commas, because it's tremendously traditional. So much of the stuff from 1,500 years ago is still in the spectacle today. But in terms of the kind of last 300 years, there's only been 75 fighters awarded the rank of yokozuna, only 75 in about 300 years. There are 2 at present, which is a little bit kind of Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi-esque, and they're both in London competing with each this week. And so probably it'll be between them, but then who knows? We had an upset last night. Maybe we'll get something else. Maybe we'll get something else in the next few days that will shake the picture up a bit. But
there could be a kind of Hereford or Woking of sumo that comes from nowhere. a giant, literally a giant.
If you're not able to acquire a ticket, then I will be standing outside the stage door this evening. No, you can follow it on, I think, the BBC Red Button.
Okay.
I think iPlayer or some such.
I think Pluto TV, apparently I saw someone claiming
Really?
you can find. Yeah, there's a little app where if you've got Connect TV.
Oh, I love Pluto.
It's got nothing to do with Disney.
No, good.
So, but anyway, yeah, if you want to go and check that out, there's options, and there's been lots of clips on YouTube as well. Fantastic. Well, lovely to talk to you, James. Enjoy the remaining
you so much,
evenings of it,
guys.
and we will catch up with you soon. Take care. There's James Richardson there, co-hosting the Sumo. Tony from West London says, I drive a London bus and came across these big boys, asked if they minded me taking a photo, and they kindly obliged. This is the sumo wrestlers.
Yeah.
He sent the picture to us. I thanked them and cheekily pointed to the two in purple and said, I'll take you two next then. The one in white obviously spoke good enough English and chuckled. It's safe to say I managed to get away. So, yeah, they were crossing the old Abbey Road zebra crossing earlier on. They've been doing all the London-y stuff, getting on line bikes, etc. So you may see him out and about. And apparently Stuart says William A. Bong is a pseudonym that Elton John has used at various times.
Yes, of course it is.
Billabong, he
Yeah, of
says.
course
I think he's used Frank N. Stein sometimes. I wouldn't open with it, Elton. But Stuart, good man, Stuart in Southport telling us all about that. Stan Collymore joins us next to welcome back the Premier League. He'll stick around for the Falls panel. Jim Proudfoot will join us. And, of course, our panel beater. That's all to come.
West Midlands Police and Crime Commissioner is calling for an immediate review of the decision to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from their Europa League game at Aston Villa. Birmingham City Council's Safety Advisory Group said the game presented security concerns following advice from police. While security specialist Will Geddes has told talkSPORT we deserve a bit more information.
These are answers that people need to hear, and if they don't have them, again, a chasm of distrust can start building between supporters and groups like this that are preventing them from enjoying football.
Senior government figures are meeting later to discuss the next steps. Elsewhere today, ahead of Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea, live on talkSPORT tomorrow lunchtime, Cole Palmer is out for another 6 weeks with a groin injury. But Enzo Maresca says he doesn't need surgery.
We try just to protect Cole as much as we can. Unfortunately, the medical staff, they are no magician. You never know that. Probably you need 6 weeks. We hope that 6 weeks they are enough.
And the funeral of Matt Beard is taking place at Liverpool's Metropolitan Cathedral. Ian Rush, Leanne Sanderson, Casey Stoney and Farrah Williams are all there.
Yes, it is Paul Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Stan Collymore joining us shortly. We want to get his reaction to this. Ange Postecoglou has been chatting to the press ahead of the game against Chelsea, City Ground tomorrow, live on talkSPORT, 12:30 kickoff. He's been defending his record as a manager.
I guess from my perspective, there's, I just don't fit. Not here, just in general. If you look at it through the prism of, I'm a failed manager who's lucky to get this job. And you're smirking at me, but that's what's been said, right? And I can find the print that's actually that said. Then, of course, this first 5 weeks looks like this guy's under pressure. There is an alternative story that you can look at it. I came into the Premier League 2 years ago. I took over Tottenham, Spursy Tottenham. I was told by the chairman at the time, this club has to win a trophy. He said, we've tried to bring winners in. Jose Antonio hasn't worked. We need something different. I was slightly offended by that because I see myself as a winner. I took over Spurs. I finished 8th. No European football. Big club, massive club, no European football. Can't go 2 years without European football. We finished 5th my first year. But somehow that year has disappeared from the record books. In fact, it was used as a reason for me losing my job because even Tottenham decided to exclude the first 10 games because they were an anomaly, apparently. Although the first 10 games here are very important, apparently.
Okay. As a Tottenham fan,
he can say what he likes. It all comes down to results. If they win tomorrow, it'll be fine. If they lose tomorrow, he's under big, big pressure.
Let's get the thoughts of Stan Collymore, former Forest striker. Hi, Stan.
Andy, how are you?
Not so
good,
bad.
thanks, Stan.
What do you make of that?
I think it's just thou doth protest too much. If you're Jose Mourinho and you're at the sort of tail end of your club career, probably, what you do is you go in, you do your presses for the first few weeks and you tell everybody how great you were. And Jose Mourinho was great. Is he great any longer? Don't think so. If you're Ange Postecoglou, it's just what Andy just said. You've just got to go in, say less, get results and show people by virtue of the league table at the end of the season And I said to you a couple of weeks ago, before the international break, the problem with Ange is that he bites very quickly. And it's kind of almost that sort of, he's done the hard yards in Australia and Japan and then Glasgow, and he feels that he's been disrespected. He feels his body of work is being disrespected. When all it is really his local journos and some national journos having a little lend of him, having a little pull of the sort of the cotton at the bottom of his T-shirt and getting him to bite for a comment, and he'll bite. Forest fans at the moment are very simple in the way that they view this season. They didn't want Nuno to go. They respect Mr. Marinakis' involvement at the club and his investment in the football club. They're on a journey. They want to go further in Europe and be a European staple. The Nottingham Forest, the three of us remember the late 70s, early 80s, and competed later on in Europe. I helped a team get into the UEFA Cup, of which they got to the latter stages. But Ange needs to do less talking. And if he is going to do more talking, he's got to say, look, I've come in, it's been a very difficult start. Players are going to have to adapt to the way I play, but he's got to be contrite and say, look, we're trying to bridge the gap between Nuno and what I'm trying to do. And the more he talks about, I win a trophy, and I saw it on my feed, I've got a live feed as we're talking, and it comes up, the one line which all journos want is that the story remains the same, I always win something, then he's heaping more pressure on himself.
Yeah.
Like a striker going in and saying, what are your first aims, Stan, as a striker at Liverpool? I want to score 50 goals this season. If you score 40, then you're a failure, aren't you, by your own measurement? So it's really simple for Ange. Don't bite, get your head down, get results, and that's how to answer the critics.
And if I was a Forest fan, I'd be listening to that and thinking, well, look, put your energies into us. Don't be, dwelling on the fact that people don't give you enough credit for Tottenham's first 10 games in your first season. Put your energy into us now.
Exactly that. And I think that's the problem is that when you know that there are managers, look, we've all sat in press conferences and we know the managers that play a straight bat and that you can't get anything out of. And for the local guys on the beat every week, it's kind of like, I'm getting nothing out of these. And then you know the ones, Brian Clough, ironically at Nottingham Forest, these days, it'd just be a kind of a book a week with the quotes and the comments that he'd come out with. But Ange just needs to get results. And if he keeps telling people how great he was at Spurs or at Celtic or at Yokohama Marinos, whilst ignoring the elephant in the room, which is he's had an absolute dog of a start at Nottingham Forest, then not only Forest fans are going to turn around and say, not having him, that players are then going to say, he should be concentrating on us. He should be saying how great Morgan Gibbs-White is and how much he's looking forward to Chris White and Danilo, forging a forward relationship. Callum Hudson-Odoi, how great he's been in training. All of those are things that Ange Postecoglou could do without having to resort to. Yeah. I know everybody thinks I'm rubbish, but here's my trophy list. It's not going to wash. And the more pressure he puts himself under, the less likely he is to get extended time from an owner that is very tetchy, hovering over that button. If the reports are true, with Sean Dyche that goes to Nottingham, he's a Forest fan. He was at Forest as a youngster. He goes to lots of Forest games when he's not managing. Is hovering in the background.
This sort of resuming the Premier League after this international break, they're coming thick and fast, the games now. If you're in Europe and you're still in the Carabao Cup, lots and lots of matches between now and the next window. We're going to find out a lot about a lot of teams, aren't we?
Best time of the season as a player, and I think that, having spoken to a lot of players and managers, this is it. This is the sort of, our generation, I'm sorry, youngsters, keep talking about our generation, but you wouldn't look at the league table till 6 to 8 to 10 games. You literally wouldn't as a fan. It's like, who cares? It doesn't make any difference. Now we're calling potential champions after 3, 4, 5 games, and it's ridiculous. But 8 games, you know what you've got in terms of your squad. Just again, seeing the live feed, Cole Palmer out, Rodri out, Alisson still out for Liverpool, which should be really good for clubs like progressive clubs like Bournemouth in particular, Crystal Palace, that if they can keep their players fit. But it's a massive opportunity when the clocks go back. Everybody's in the football room, all of the holidays, all of the summer has gone, and you've got a little bit of form and momentum. You see what's needed. You see some of the players that have come in for injured players and you've gone, yeah, he's doing a good job. You've got European games coming thick and fast. That then takes us pretty much all the way through the cliched busy winter period. As a player, I used to love it because I know that if I can build a head of steam between now and Christmas Day, Boxing Day, early January, that my personal tally as a goal scorer or my ability to help the team, this is the time when you do the huge majority of the body of your work for the season. So if you're looking around, if you're Bournemouth, Crystal Palace fans, you're looking good at the minute. If you're Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester City, yeah, we've started okay. There are one or two minor glitches and issues. And conversely, at the other end of the table, if you can't buy a win, now's the time where you're thinking, should we get the bat phone out, ready to call a Red Adair of a football manager come November time? And what are we going to try and do in the January transfer window? So an incredibly exciting time, but this is the real official football people start of the season.
Absolutely. Stan Collimore's with us. We're going to have the Falls panel coming up very, very shortly. Jim Proudfoot's going to be joining us. Stan, we've got very little time to talk about this, but we can direct people to a very powerful feed
Yeah,
you
we
did.
both saw this.
We both saw on X, on social media, on the subject of suicide, and you had your thoughts in light of recent events. So I say we haven't really got time to explore it as we should do, but I mean, sort of briefly.
Yeah, very briefly. Male suicide, 75% of suicides are men. We had the news about Ricky Hatton that he took his own life. Gary Speed, Matt Beard at Liverpool, I think, has been buried today. Robert Enke, the German goalkeeper back in the day, and many others in the public eye. But the biggest story is, if you are a man that is struggling, talk to your football mates on a Sunday. Talk to your sons, your daughter, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters. Check in on those guys, because we are getting to epidemic proportions. I know loads of men, football fans, will listen to you guys as they've done for many, many years. Speak out. Talk to somebody, because too many men are taking their own lives.
Yeah, go and check out Stan's thread on X. Okay, Stan, thank you very much. We'll be catching up with Stan again for the Falls panel a few moments' time. We're here, as always, with our good friends at Tool Station.
Hello and welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Time then for the Falls panel. At that point of the show, we try and predict the scores of 3 Premier League games this weekend, 2 of which we've got live commentaries of on talkSPORT, and you will be kept in touch with Sam Matterface on Game Day Live on Sunday. Forest versus Chelsea will be our first game. But before that, let's take a look at the standings. We get 3 points for getting the score absolutely spot on, 1 for getting the outcome of the game right, nothing for getting it wrong, of course. And these are the standings. The Manchester United caller, John, no points for him last week, which means that they are bottom.
Oh, dear.
Surprisingly.
They win it last year.
On 10, yeah. But they've got plenty of time. Like Stan says, the season hasn't really started yet. Till the clocks go back, Charlie Baker always says. Andy, you're on 11 points. You got 1. I had a sort of solid week. I got 4 points. I'm on 15. Good, yeah. Then Nigel Adley was our commentator last time out. 2 for Nige. He's on 15. Stan's top of the league. Not so bad. 4 points for Stan. He's on 16. So the pressure's on then. And let's say hello to our panel beater, talkSPORT listener this afternoon, Andy, the Norwich fan. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are you feeling about the season so far? Obviously, we're discounting the derby the week or so ago.
Yes.
50-50.
Okay.
Go either way.
What's a good season for Norwich this season? What would you do? It's got to be promotion, is it, or playoffs at the very least?
Push him for playoffs.
Yeah, push him for playoffs. Reach for the stars.
Everybody's pushing for playoffs.
Yeah, we're all pushing for playoffs.
Still,
Jim Proudfoot is our commentator. Hi, Jim.
Hello, fellas. Nice to speak to you.
Yeah, good. So, what's your dream for Torquay United this season? You and Charlie, were you pushing for playoffs?
Yeah, aim for the stars, as you say. And I will be disappointed if we don't win it this year. We were very, very close last year. I think that the squad's better this time round, and I'm very, very confident that we're going to win the league.
That's well, it'll make Charlie a much happier man as well as you. That's good news. So let's get underway, shall we? Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. We've just had a little bit of Ange. We'll try and play some more of that later on. He's got had a bit of a session with the journalist today ahead of our commentary game. Stan, what about this one, your old club?
Yeah, a couple of stats. Forest have won just one of the last 8 Premier League meetings against Chelsea, and Chelsea have won 3 of the last 4 Premier League away games against Nottingham Forest. Ange Postecoglou, by the way, hasn't overseen a victory against... Crikey, I had a brain.
Chelsea.
Yeah. In his tenure as manager.
We'll
of
do
Tottenham
that.
Hotspur. I'm going to go Forest 1, Chelsea to nick it 2-1.
Oh, okay. Interesting. 2-1 says Stan. What do you think, Jim?
Well, I've gone for 2-1 as well. Obviously, Ange is just desperately trying to find a way to get out of the malaise. It was a spectacular press conference earlier. Extremely prickly.
Yeah.
I saw Forest at Newcastle a fortnight ago, and he just found another way to lose, really. He was looking for his side to be able to keep things tight and sit back behind the ball and try and soak things up with the back 3, and there were positives, but the result wasn't one of them. Just the 1 goal and the 1 point so far, so I'm going to go for Chelsea to win, and I've also gone for 2-1.
Good stuff. I've already written 2-1 down. I just think so much of this is about the first goal, though. If Chelsea get a first goal early, it could be really flat at the City ground. If they score early, Forest, the crowd get going, because they're going to be up for it, I think you could have a massive bearing on it. I know you've got a lot of injury problems, but I just think you've got a little bit too much quality. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. Andy, what are you going with?
I'm torn between 3-2, an exciting game, or 1-0 like it was at the end of the last season, so I'm going to go 1-0.
To Chelsea?
Yeah.
OK, 1-0 to Chelsea. Andy, the Norwich fan, what say you?
I'm going to say 3-1 Chelsea. That was my original thought. I did just check with my wife, who's a Forest supporter, and she actually said she hopes it's a lot more because she wants him gone.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, we had a Forest
an element of that.
Forest podcaster on yesterday who was saying that. There was a bit of pushback on that, but, you know, what are you going to do?
And Chelsea, a lot of their players didn't travel. Like Caicedo and João Pedro, so they're going to be quite fresh, relatively.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. talkSPORT listeners home in the car. Next up, then, Sam Matterface and the gang will keep you in touch with Liverpool, Manchester United on Sunday in Game Day Live. Stan, again, another of your old clubs. What do you think?
Yeah, Liverpool have lost just one of the last 14 Premier League meetings with Manchester United, the old Fower course and down the East Lancs Road. And United are winless in their last 9 Premier League games at Anfield. However, Liverpool, of course, have lost both of their last 2 Premier League games. I think Liverpool will have enough. Just Liverpool 2, Manchester United 1.
2-1 to Liverpool. Jim?
I feel like a complete fraud because I've got everything written down and I'm just copying Stan yet again. So I'm also going for 2-1 to Liverpool. Since the start of 2020, Mo Salah has scored 13 goals in that fixture, and Manchester United combined have only scored 8. Now, obviously, Salah hasn't been in great form. He's not scored a goal from open play since the opening weekend of the season in the Premier League against Bournemouth. But United's away form is poor. They do seem to be able to raise their game at times for the bigger fixtures. So I think that they will run them close, but I am going to go for Liverpool to sneak it by the old goal in 3.
OK. Just as a point of difference, and I don't know why I'm saying this in light of all the stats you've just given us, guys. You can't score against Liverpool at the moment. So I'm going to stick my neck out. I still think Liverpool win, but I'm going to go 3-2. But again, I do expect Liverpool to get it done. Andy?
I think United can get something out of this game. And the mad thing is, if they win, they're only 2 points behind Liverpool, which it's absolutely ridiculous the way people have written them off and said Liverpool are going to win the title. So I think it'll be a draw. It often is. I'm going 1-1.
1-1, says Andy. And Andy, the Norwich fan, what do you think?
Well, you've got what I was going to say, 3-2.
Oh, OK. Well, you stick with that. It's not a problem. All right, 2-3-2s.
I'm an outlier.
You are, Andy. You're bold. Let's see if it pays off. talkSPORT listeners home in the car. And finally, Monday evening, it is West Ham versus Brentford. Stan?
Brentford have lost all 3 of their away games, and West Ham have lost all 3 of their own games so far. But Brentford have enjoyed more Premier League wins over West Ham at 6 than they have against any other side. I'm going to go Nuno's philosophy starting to bed in, counter-attacking, fairly turgid game overall. Brentford don't have lots of possession. 1-1.
OK, I think they're all much of a muchness, these predictions. I've already written 1-1 down. Let's see what Jim thinks.
Well, I've written 1-1 down as well. I'm going to have to change it. I can't follow Stan on all 3 games. Stan. No offence, but we've got to try and get an advantage on you somehow.
Yeah.
So I will go 2-2.
OK.
My worry about Brentford is that they've lost all 3 away games so far. But if you look at what they're good at getting the ball inside the 6-yard box quite early. West Ham struggled to defend those, and they're so good from attacking set pieces, and West Ham struggle defending those as well. I mean, they've conceded from 8 corners in 7 Premier League games so far. So I'll go for 2-2.
Bit better last time out against Arsenal.
Yeah, they didn't concede against the set specialist Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I think Nuno's tightened it up already, and I think you're going to see that.
And have you gone 1-1, Andy?
I have.
Yeah, I tend to agree that, as they're bedding in under Nuno, I think they'll take that. Andy, the Norwich fan, you haven't gone 1-1 as well, have you?
I had it in my head, but I'm changing my mind now because I don't want to follow the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-1 Brentford.
2-1 Brentford. Okay.
Fulcrum's out again. They must be drunk.
Is he really?
Fans, yeah.
Oh, well. There we are, talkSPORT listeners home in the car. That is us. Andy in the Norwich Fan, thank you very much. Good to talk to you. All the best.
Thank you.
And thank you, Jim. We will catch up with you soon. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Jim Proudfoot there. And thank you, Stan. We'll catch up with you next week.
Have a good weekend, chaps.
All the best. There is Stan Collymore there. And that is the Falls panel. Still to come this afternoon. Todd Macklin's going to join us with his American Sports Roundup. We had a NFL game last night. It's getting very exciting in what's effectively the semi-finals of Major League Baseball. There's some stories there. Other interesting stuff and some jokey stuff as well from the world of American sport. And his numbered news and nonsense. We got some more of that to come. And, we'll hear from the gaffers. Maybe even get a little bit more of that fairly spiky press conference involving Ange Postecoglou earlier on. That's all to come. Yes, stick around for a fresh batch of clips of the week at 3:30. But first, Toby Gillis has the sports headlines.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Score a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon. It's emerged the government was briefed last week that restricting Maccabi Tel Aviv fans might be among measures police could take over their Europa League game at Aston Villa. Yesterday it was confirmed they would be banned, though Sakir Starmer has been angered by the decision. Now Birmingham City's Safety Advisory Group has said it will only reverse the plan if the police downgrades its risk assessment. Here's chair of Villa's Jewish Supporters Group, Elliot Pollock.
The cost of policing it and the hassle of policing it would be massively disproportionate for a Europa League group game. However, sometimes things are more important than money and effort, and I think it does say a great deal about the country that people from Israel or Jews from England aren't able to travel and support Tel Aviv.
Now, is Victor Gyökeres overthinking things? It's 6 without a goal for the Arsenal striker, and Mikel Arteta's been talking to him about it.
I told him before the first meeting, I said the 9 that I want is a 9 that when he doesn't score for 6 or 8 games, he can handle that.
At least Arsenal do have their prime goal threat. Chelsea are going to be without one of theirs for the next 6 weeks. That's the minimum. Cole Palmer's groin strain is likely to keep him out for. They're at Forest at lunchtime tomorrow, live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Now, Alisson for Liverpool for a few more weeks, although Arne Slot says Alexander Isak is now where he needs to be fitness-wise, and we can judge his efforts in a fair way from now on. And the Professional Cricketers Association is lobbying the ECB to narrow the sport's gender pay gap. Last year, men playing in the 100 earned up to 200 grand. The women's top earner got just 65.
talkSPORT News.
3 Nazi-worshipping extremists have been jailed for a total of 29 years for terror offences, and Manchester Arena bomb plotter has denied attacking prison guards with hot oil and makeshift weapons. More from the news team at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. With a huge range of premium brands available, we've got what you need to drive away happy every time. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Unsettled today, cloudy tonight with some drizzle in the east, cold under any clear skies.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Yes, time now for today's bet builder with our friends at Paddy Power. We've never done a live one before.
Oh, I'm excited.
Speak to the Paddy Power team down the line, but Graham Byrne's in the building and he joins us now. We're going to look ahead to Forest Chelsea at the City Ground. Hello, Graham. Nice to see you.
Yeah, how you doing, boys? Great to be over.
Yeah, excellent. So, just briefly explain how the bet builder works.
Yeah, we're putting together a scenario within a game where we're getting ourselves a nice price, and we put a bet between 5 of us together here that comes to about 27-1.
Oh, that would be nice if it comes off. I've gone fairly route one. I think there will be goals in the match. I've gone both teams to score.
Yeah, why not? I think as this goes on, we're going to see that most of us are leaning towards Chelsea winning, but Chelsea have had their problems. They haven't kept a clean sheet away from home all season. Even the likes of Lincoln and West Ham have scored against them, and they've got the problems at the back. I think there was no recognised centre-halves on the pitch when they finished up against Liverpool, so they have got the problems at the back, but we do think they win, so both teams to score looks logical.
Yeah, it should have... what's his name? Chalobah back.
Yeah.
Badishil's out till December.
Is he?
And Fofana will be fit though.
Yeah.
Right. I've gone with Caicedo to be booked because it's going to be feisty and with Anderson in midfield, and he often does pick up a booking.
Yeah, he does. Surprisingly, he's only really had one this year. Would you believe he's sort of turned into a goal scorer? Now he's tripled his goal tally from last year. But as you said, with Yates, he should get the start for Forest, and Anderson in midfield. It's going to be a bit tasty, I'd imagine.
Our producer Sean has gone for the Chelsea win. It would have pained him to do that, but he has. As an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, well, Ange Postecoglou has sort of self-inflicted wounds here from Forest. He's come in, hasn't won a game yet. I think he's had 7. He's lost 5 of them. He's already on the hot seat. There was big rumours he was going to go before during the international break, and that a new manager was going to come in. Sean Dyche was touted for it. He has managed to survive, but he's very much on the hot seat.
So we have the people's pick. This is the Paddy Power punters who are having a bet builder with you, and it's one of the more popular choices. They see a lot of corners for Chelsea.
Yeah, because Chelsea average over 6 corners a game. They've got the second most corners in the league behind Arsenal, of course. So over 5.5 looks to be in a game that we think that Chelsea are going to sort of dominate a bit.
What's your conversion rate been like from corners? I can remember a couple. There was one
from corners.
Yeah, okay.
And also they've got wingers that attack the byline, so that's why they get a lot of corners.
Sure.
You know.
And Graham, what have you gone with?
I've gone with João Pedro to score or get a card. I'm thinking someone's got to step up here. It looks like Cole Palmer's out again, so it's about time he stepped up. He's only had 2 goals, I believe, in the league this year, and he was in a bit of trouble against Benfica as well, so I'm hoping that he can get a goal or get a card.
Okay. And so you said 27-1, if that
27-1, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, fingers crossed we can get it for the Attitude Foundation. I think we owe them one, let's be honest. Although we did come close. We came close last time. It was the people that let us down, I think, last week. But we can't blame them for that. Nice one, Graham. Thanks ever so much for popping in.
Yeah, cheers, gents.
That's Graham Byrne there from Paddy Power. That's Paddy's Bet Builder for today. Minimum odds 1 to 5 per leg. 18 plus. BigGamblerWare.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus. BigGamblerWare.org.
Not a little bit of time to delve into Andy's mythical cuttings. This is the piles and piles. It looks like he's been sending slightly twisted ransom notes out to people, but he hasn't. He's got all these newspaper cuttings. I have to choose a number. Now, he painstakingly went through every outstanding number the other day, and I think I've binned it by accident. I do apologise. So let me just say 93.
I've got a feeling 90. Yeah, I've got a feeling 93 has been done.
92.
Let me just have a look. 92 has been done. 93 is.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yes, it's
good.
The toughest tongue twister in the English language. Do you want to know what it is?
Okay, you're going to be
fact of the day.
Yeah,
fact of the day. I hope so.
It's not a rude one, is it?
I don't know. The sixth sick shakes sixth sheep sick.
Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't right, even when you said it slowly.
What, the sixth sick shakes sixth sheep's sick?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I think it's an oldie, isn't it?
It is, really.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for bringing us that.
Not one of my favourites.
What about 14? 1 for 14.
A promising number. Let's have a look.
Yeah, okay.
I need to redo this because I've now got a whole load more.
Okay, so a lot of work you put
14's gone, I'm afraid.
15.
15. Oh, yes.
Right.
It's from Julie in Liverpool, writing to the Star.
Okay, this is going to be high-quality stuff.
Eminem, yes, Brian Linford's back. Guess who's back again? Brian's back. Go tell a text page friend. My Sugar Puffs DS Brecky text page. Enjoy others too. What
are you talking about?
I know.
Then?
This is in a national newspaper. What is it? The letters to the Star, they are just consistently terrible. It's quite remarkable. I did like this story, though. It isn't on my list, but I'll mention it. The Times crossword champion.
Yeah.
It's quite encouraging, this, for people who are sort of worried about the rise of AI. He beat AI in the Times World Championship.
Right.
AI just gave up. After 24 minutes.
AI gave up.
I don't know who programmed it. Emma Raducanu.
Oh, that's
too harsh.
Andy,
too harsh.
So harsh.
Too easy.
So harsh.
I know.
Can I say 87?
Well, you can. I don't know where it'll take you. Let's have a look. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. 83, 84, 85, 86. 87, no, done.
Okay, 86.
86.
While you're in the vicinity.
86. Oh, it's all about giant vegetables.
Oh, okay. Well, it normally is, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Trimmed and cleaned. I must have put this for a reason.
Yeah.
The competitors took their turn to be weighed and measured in the Malvern Hills. Some came in at more than 4 times the average height of British men.
British men? British men.
Yeah, I like British men.
I thought you said this was about vegetables.
Welcome to the giant vegetable competition at the Malvern. It was one of those openings where they do, a bit like, I'm the woman who does the, it's a strange way to start an
Andy, you've completely lost me.
Welcome to the giant vegetable competition at the Malvern Autumn Show in Worcestershire.
Yes.
Where growers of enormous pumpkins, celeriac, onions, amongst other veg, go head to head. They battle across 33 classes from the heaviest parsnip.
Wow, that was fiercely contested.
To the longest cucumber.
Okay, leave it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And broke 6 Guinness World Records.
Brilliant.
Peter Glazebrook, known as...
Not Peter Glaze.
No.
On Cracker Jack fame.
Yeah. If you dropped a cauliflower, that was it.
Yeah.
Peter, no, it was a cabbage, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's that is a long time ago. Even I was only a child when that happened.
Wow.
Anyway.
Really?
Well, yeah.
They had telly then, did they?
They really did.
Wow.
Peter Glazebrook, known as the godfather of giant veg, looked on proudly.
I've never called him that.
I have. Looked on proudly as his radish tipped the scales.
Wow, I'm sure we've all had that, haven't we? When was the last time your radish tipped the scales, Andy? It's been a while, I'm guessing.
I know. Ian Payton's entry and 1,170 kilo. Really? 1,117 kilo.
Not a parsnip.
Green speckled Atlantic giant pumpkin.
You are.
I am. Gerald Stratford, 77, who grows on his allotment.
Is he like Wretch 3-2?
I think he is.
Yeah. Great, isn't it?
I'm just so chuffed, he said.
Yeah. Well, look, thanks for bringing us that. That's probably quite old news now.
Well, it was. It was quite good sport, though, at the time.
Yeah, I suppose it was in a pretty quiet, sporty week.
Exactly.
It's interesting. One of the things Manchester United are looking to do is make changes to their perimeter fencing in like some tragic events recently, and the fact that runoff that United have after they did that work a few years.
We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
It's so, we saw in the grand final.
You see it in, it's funny, it's something about when you see rugby league there. It feels more pronounced than it does in football, doesn't it? You don't really give it a lot of thought when you see it in football.
It always feels dangerous.
Yeah. I think it's one of the things, obviously, they're going to be looking at. But
the trouble is that you'd want to pad the walls, but the trouble is it's the perimeter advertising behind the goal is probably pretty valuable.
Stella Solbakken wasn't particularly happy with Oscar Bob the other day after the international week. And it was a very cutting line. Did you see what he said?
No, I didn't.
He said, if you ask Oscar, I think he'll say that the first half was his weakest performance for the national team. And the second half was his next weakest.
Oh, dear.
Blimey.
Thanks.
He's only a kid.
That's a confidence booster.
Yeah. I mean,
he's a terrific player, but he suffered a big injury. It's got to take him time to come back.
Take him time, of course it is. That's right. So, Tom Macklin's going to join us in a few moments' time. We've got the weird and wonderful world of American sport. We've got plenty of ground to cover. We had an NFL game last night.
Another thriller. Honestly, the games have been fantastic.
It's funny, I was talking to Tom Clayton outside, who's an NFL fan. He was at Tottenham last week for the game. He said, the thing is, no one's any good. He doesn't think that everybody's really good, and that's why the games are tight. He thinks the quality is quite poor at the moment.
Really?
Well, let's get the thoughts of Todd on that.
Yeah.
And talk a bit of baseball. Some other interesting stories from the world of American sport and some daft stuff, as always. And, Aaron Rodgers going all grumpy old man. We'll tell you more about that in a few moments' time. We're here, as always, with our very good friends at Tool Station, standing behind every single tradesperson in Britain. Next stop, Tool Station.
welcome to talkSPORT Goals. Been taking you through what should be another busy day of football. Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Yes, time to talk American sports once again with our man Todd Macklin. Good afternoon, Todd.
Hi, boys.
Well, we're going to start with, as we often do these days, start with the Thursday night game. And it was an interesting match, a bit to and fro. We had two 40-plus quarterbacks in Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. And they were both front and centre in the game. And Flacco and the Bengals edged out the Steelers, didn't they?
Yeah, another Thursday night upset game. The Steelers were leading the division, 4 wins out of 5 games. The Bengals had lost 4 games in a row. So it was a chance for the Steelers basically to kind of run away with the division. But the Bengals hung on. Just a terrific game. You said the lead was the two 40-year-old quarterbacks going back and forth. Both played fantastic in this game. Flacco, it's incredible. Flacco was in Cleveland a couple weeks ago. He was more of a mentor to their young quarterbacks. They had made the switch in Cleveland to going to a younger quarterback. And then Cincinnati, because of the injury to Joe Burrow, they needed a quarterback. They trade for Joe Flacco. And then, Flacco talked about it. It was just such a great chance for him to be a quarterback again on a team that has aspirations to make the playoffs. So, it was just a fantastic game last night.
We've been having a bit of a debate in the office about the quality of the NFL this season. I mean, I think it's been great. I watched Red Zone last week.
Yeah.
There were 5. They went to quintuple box. I couldn't even follow it. There were 5 one-point finishes, and this was another very close game. But Tom in our office feels the quality isn't quite there.
He thinks no one's really good. He thinks everybody's quite bad, which is why everyone's beating everybody else at the moment.
That is the argument, right? People will say that they want a dominant team, right? Like, it's so funny because when you have the dominant team, those people are the first to kind of say, oh, well, it's kind of boring because there's a dominant team. But the NFL is kind of built exactly on what you said, Andy, is that, they made a movie about it, Any Given Sunday, right? Like, basically, any game, any of the teams has a chance to win, right? They do it through the draft. They do it through the strength of schedule. And listen, the NFL is the most popular league in North America, and it's not even close. So it tells me they're doing it right.
I agree.
Now, one of the more interesting things that happened, that was the first time Joe Flacco had not been the oldest quarterback on the field for 5 years when he played, because Aaron Rodgers has got a year on him. And maybe he showed it by going all grumpy old man. He put in a touchdown pass, which momentarily sort of put him in the lead. And one of his younger teammates sort of jumped on his back to celebrate with him. And he had a fall, as old people often do.
That's harsh.
He had a fall, Todd. And, he pushed him. He got very upset. I suppose with his recent injury record, he probably doesn't want to be injured by one of his own teammates, especially a big guy landing on him. But he was very upset, wasn't he?
Paul, just to add a bit of news, you were right. It was a younger teammate. It was also a teammate that weighed over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's different if a wide receiver or running back, right, wants to tackle you to celebrate a touchdown. But when the guy's over 300 pounds, it leads to a grumpy Aaron Rodgers. Listen, the Bengals didn't sack him all night. I think they only hit him twice. So the hardest hit he took all night was from his own teammate after a Steelers touchdown, as you said, to put him. I think any of us would be grumpy under those circumstances.
No, that's true. Now, NFL are back in London this weekend playing at Wembley, and the Jaguars in action against the Rams. We're going to bring you that one live on talkSPORT 2 from 2 o'clock from Wembley, and you can watch along on the talkSPORT USA YouTube page as well. One of the talking points of this is Travis Hunter, that sort of rookie unicorn, as they call him, a man who can play offensively and defensively. It's first chance to see him in the UK. How much of that has he been doing? What sort of start has he made for the Jags?
Well, I can tell you this. Liam Cohen, who's the head coach of the Jags, has said we need to do a better job of getting Travis Hunter the ball on offense. So I actually think it's good news for UK football fans, because I think the Jags are going to make a much better effort to get Travis Hunter the ball. So that is something to look forward to. And I also think the matchup is something to look forward to. Both the Rams and the Jags are off to really good starts this year and could be much better, right? The Rams lost that Thursday night game. Remember where the 49ers had all the injuries and they still ended up beating the Rams in that game. And Jacksonville, too. Jacksonville just lost to Seattle at home after a number of big wins. So, listen, I think you should be in store for a really good game between these two.
We've also got an interview with the Jags owner, Shad Khan, as well, talking about football and Fulham as much as he is the Jags. So you can go and find that on our talkSPORT USA YouTube page. Good chat. On to the baseball, which is we're kind of at the semi-final stage, if you will, if you want to put that in UK
it's got
terms.
to be exciting in Toronto, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the Dodgers, it could well be a blowout. They got the Brewers early hours of tomorrow morning, and they're 3-0 up, Otani and all. They look pretty well set. But the Blue Jays-Mariners game, and of course you're in Toronto, Todd, so you'll be right across this. Mariners look like they were coasting. They were 2-0 up. Blue Jays have fought back to 2-2, and again, they play tonight, don't they?
They do. It's crazy, guys, because in all the sports, not just baseball, all the sports, you play all year during the regular season to get home field advantage, right? There's something tangible about being at home in the biggest games of the year. Sure. And in the Blue Jays Seattle series, the home team has lost every game. So all 4 games, the road team has won. The Blue Jays, who couldn't hit in the first 2 games in Toronto, come out to Seattle, and their bats have been booming, home runs all over the place. 2-2, just the critical game 5 to give yourself a 3-2 lead if you can win this game 5. And if the Jays can win game 5 today, they'd be up 3-2, going back home with a chance in game 6 and 7 to go to the World Series for the first time since 1993. The Dodgers, as we know, were in the World Series last year. For them, guys, it's been pitching. Very simple. They've allowed a single run, just one run in each of the 3 games of the National League Championship Series. It is the reason that they are a win away from going back to the World Series.
Now, we're going to move on to basketball. The NBA's back next week, so I'm sure we'll be touching on that. But a legend of women's basketball as a player and coach, Dawn Staley, was asked a question by a journalist as to whether we were still a long way off from a woman coaching a men's NBA team. She was interviewed for the Knicks job earlier this year. She didn't get the job, but she was very interested in that as well, if you want to listen to the fuller interview. But she explained one of the reasons why she feels it wouldn't happen, a woman managing a men's NBA team.
A connection to the people, right? So I have a connection to him and World Wide West. So I've known them all my life. And it was a real interview. And I'd like to see what they're talking about. And if there's somebody that is is interested in knowing and interested in being the first female NBA coach or such, I got all the information. Come see me, because I'll get you prepared for the interview. And if there are NBA franchises that are interested in hiring a female, I'm here too, because you got to be ready to take on that and all the things that it comes with, because it's not.
Yeah. Sorry, that clip was going to go on for 3/4 of an hour.
That's why she didn't get the job. She's very long-winded.
I think someone forgot to edit it. The point she was making, guys, before we rudely interrupted her, sorry, Dawn, I doubt if she's listening, was that she said the problem would be that if you went on a 5-game losing streak, the story wouldn't be about the team struggling, it would be about the fact that they'd hired a woman. That was the point that she got round to about 10 minutes after that. So, yeah, it's you can understand what she means. It does feel like it's a long way off.
Yeah, it does. Although the one name I'll throw out there is Becky Hammond. So Becky Hammond was the first female assistant coach. She was with the Spurs under Greg Popovich for many years. She left to become head coach of the Vegas team in the WNBA. They just won the championship again, 3rd time in 4 years. Becky Hammond seems to be the one name that is at the top of a lot of lists of probably being that first female head coach of an NBA team. Just because, hey, listen, she worked under Greg Popovich, who was considered one of the best coaches of the last few decades. Yeah, it's hard to put a timeline on it. Dawn's been through the process. She'd know a lot more. It does feel like it's a ways off, but it does feel like you could see it happening.
Yeah. And finally, Peyton Manning does this NFL prank show involving the players. It's called The Undercovers, and I think they've got a new series. And the Vikings wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, pranked quite a few of the, I think, coaches at the club, and also the general manager. He pretended to be a photographer, a kind of nerdy, geeky photographer, and was asking deliberately dumb questions, the sort of thing that would make you think, oh, that sounds weird. But, the general manager of the Vikings didn't pick up on it right until the end, till he got close to him. And then he went and played flag football and pretended again to be this nerdy photographer and joined in and was rubbish. And then, of course, got fantastically good towards the end, and they realised they were dealing with an NFL player.
The face of the Vikings, right, is Justin Jefferson. It's funny, we call him the face, and he doesn't get recognized by his own general manager. To me, that would be a problem, right?
Yeah. Absolutely, it was a corker. It's worth checking out the clips. So, Todd, we will catch up with you next week. Thanks very much.
See you, boys.
There we are. There's Todd Macklin, our man on American
I just checked. Dawn Staley's still speaking.
Do you know what? I'd like to apologise to everybody because that was my fault. Because I'll tell you what, I asked them. The thing, I'm doing this about sort of 7 o'clock in the morning, so I asked them to come in on that clip at 33 seconds, which they did. But what I meant was 1 minute 33 seconds. So I've missed the 1 minute off. So apologies to our fine video team. My bad, as I believe the kids say, or they did about 10 years ago. Anyway, we got there in the end. Clips of the week. It takes a big man to apologise, Andy.
Well, I think it's very true.
The clips of the week are coming up in a few moments' time.
West Midlands Police and Crime Commissioner is calling for an immediate review of the decision to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from their Europa League game at Aston Villa. Birmingham City Council's Safety Advisory Group said the game presented security concerns following advice from police. While security specialist Will Geddes has told talkSPORT we deserve a bit more information.
These are answers that people need to hear, and if they don't have them, again, a chasm of distrust can start building between supporters and groups like this that are preventing them from enjoying football.
Senior government figures are meeting later to discuss the next steps. Elsewhere today, ahead of Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea, live on talkSPORT tomorrow lunchtime, Cole Palmer is out for another 6 weeks with a groin injury. But Enzo Maresca says he doesn't need surgery.
We try just to protect Cole as much as we can. Unfortunately, the medical staff, they are no magician. You never know that. Probably you need 6 weeks. We hope that 6 weeks they are enough.
And the funeral of Matt Beard is taking place at Liverpool's Metropolitan Cathedral. Ian Rush, Leanne Sanderson, Casey Stoney and Farrah Williams are all there.
Of the week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Proudly behind the trades that work so hard for the nation. Next stop, Toolstation.
talkSPORT clips of the week.
Yes, time once again for the clips of the week with Toolstation. Got a dirty dozen for you today. And Andy, I'll kick us off with Darren Bent. Usually this time, and it is the 16th anniversary of Beach Ball Gate, and I'm sure they'll be marking that in Drive with Andy at 4 o'clock today. But here he is on Drive with Andy Goldstein, revealing the era he'd love to return to, Benty, and springing a surprise.
If I could, back to the dinosaurs, man.
Back to the dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Why?
Because first of all, I want to see if they're real.
Well, of course they're real.
No, I mean, there's all these not Sagittarius, like
well, this is going to be good.
Tyrannosaurus and raptors and
the Sagittarius.
Sagittarius Rex.
Yeah,
its full name.
That's it. Yeah, wonder what star sign it was. I think all those fossils probably prove they were real.
Definitely.
But, anyway,
and we think it's fair to say that Gabby Agbonlahor's Alan Brazil impression needs a bit of work.
Jamie, can I stop you there though? Because it's Champions Day at Ascot, Simon. And, I think fifth column is a great bet in Balmoral. Have you got odds on that, Simon?
It's like if Alan had moved to Birmingham when he was 6 months old. It does need some work, Gab. This is Ali McCoist chatting to boxer Dave Allen on breakfast, recalling Ali's heady days on a famous TV quiz show.
Don't you enjoy it, Dave, don't you?
Great questions. I was about 8 years old. It was me against my sisters. Used to beat me up after we played. Used to play along.
Happy
Great
days,
memory.
mate. Happy days.
Happy days, yeah.
Not for Dave, being beaten up by his sister, Ali. Might have been for you.
He's still scarred by it.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's Sam Matterface now, talking Scottish football.
Also today, will Kevin Muscat be worth the wait for Rangers?
Kevin Muscat. It's an easy mistake to make, because looking at some of Kevin's tackles over the years, he probably would have done less damage with a gun, wouldn't he, than he would have done with his boots.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Anyway, this is Paul Ross and Kane Reeves. They marked Paul Simon's birthday with a chat about the legendary singer-songwriter.
Do you remember when I said What I Am, the song that the lady who was married to Paul Simon? We did find it out, listener, and I can't remember who it was. It was Eric Biddle, wasn't it?
No, it was Edie Brickell.
It's brilliant.
Paul Simon was, okay, don't go to Wiki, but Paul Simon was not married to Eric Biddle. I think he's a milkman.
No, he played for Bolton in 1958.
He probably
Tremendous
would have
player.
done. He did all those adverts for Capstan Full Strength. Capstan, they don't hurt you at all. Perfectly fine with his Eric Biddle's adverts that he did in the 50s.
Marvellous.
Always hands like a bunch of bananas, but there we are.
Talking of which, we were shocked to hear Shabana Hearn say this on the Weekend Sports Breakfast.
Talk Sport.
A very good morning to you. It's Sunday, the 12th of October. You're listening to Weekend Breakfast here on Talk Sport with Shaban and Tony Cascarino.
Have they got wed?
What a lovely couple.
It's lovely, isn't it? They've not been
I
working
wasn't
together.
invited. I can't believe it.
Getting like Strictly this place, isn't it? Ridiculous. Also last weekend, one anonymous TalkSport presenter, although the finger of suspicion is pointing at
very much
one Charlie Baker, decided that the news would sound a lot better with some music.
The SNP's Stephen Flynn believes there's a consensus at Westminster that Britain is broken as he opened the party's conference in Aberdeen. He says winning a majority at next year's Holyrood election will be a fresh start for Scottish independence.
I don't think it is. The voice isn't good enough. Charlie would just go for
Charlie's got a wonderful
showbiz.
voice.
It did sound a bit like you.
But I wasn't here.
Oh, you didn't phone it in, did you? It would be the first time.
No, well, that's very true.
Anyway, maybe you can pinpoint who that is. Anyway.
Now, this is my favourite clip of the week, basically. Matt Hutchinson with shock refereeing news.
Yeah.
And more grassroots refs will be getting body hams to stop abuse. It follows a successful trial over the past couple of seasons.
Have you noticed body hams?
Well, I haven't, because Anthony Taylor is now sponsored by Ye Old Oak.
Is that... I mean, also, if it got hot, that would start to get a bit smelly, wouldn't it?
Unpleasant, really.
And maybe it's got something to do with the former Premier League referee, Martin Bodyham.
Oh, yeah, it's very good.
There we are, that's one for all that. Oh, I bet all the old refs are laughing at that one, splitting their sides.
Used to do the London to Brighton race and the vintage cars. That's why I mentioned
great knowledge of Martin Bodyham there.
No, I do.
This is
more
Simon.
than too much.
Simon Jordan, alongside Jim White, speaking very highly of a proposed new World Cup format.
Or, and I think this is more of a runner, to use the Swiss model format used in this revamped Champions League format.
Maybe. Yeah, they're speaking very highly of it. Sorry, Charlie, I didn't think it was you.
I thought Mickey Mouse had come in.
I said to the producer earlier on, that sounds like Max. He said, oh no, his faders would have been down because he's in Oz. But it was Max. Charlie's not having it. Charlie says it was Max.
I've never heard Max sing, actually.
No, well, let's hope we never have to again by the sound of that.
Great, yeah.
What's next?
We're guessing from this that Troy Deeney isn't a massive fan of cherries.
No.
He's going in there very optimistic, very happy to be there, and not many times you get a second bite of the same apple.
Well,
it's not often
I'd
you
say
get
every time, wouldn't it?
I mean,
you don't take one bite and then throw the
well,
thing
it depends if there's too big a gap between the two bites in the same apple. Could get a bit brown, a bit pappy, couldn't it?
Yeah, that wouldn't be nice. I agree.
And we won't dwell on that for too long. Back to Shaban Cascarino now. Congratulations there, and Tony. Talking international football.
Still to come for you here on the Weekend Breakfast. We'll discuss the England squad.
Oh, okay. Have you seen the England squid? They had all those pictures, didn't they, in the pool, the England? Maybe they've got their own squid
I only
now.
know the Italian player, Calamari.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's very good at Arsenal. Yeah, he's
that's
good.
right.
And finally.
Yeah. It's a TalkSport caller reminiscing.
I went to, when I was in my teenage years, I went to Wembley to watch when they were doing a World Cup cauliflower.
A World Cup cauliflower?
It's back to that event. I was talking about the vegetable
Yeah, it
championships.
is. That was the World Cup cauliflower. That's fantastic.
Tremendous.
Anyway, we should thank Stuart Armour, Adam Cairns, Glyn Barrington, Sean Fackrell, Steve Smith, The Reverend Ruthless, Jonesy Jones, Steve Pye, Simon Wright, Muse Lover, Porter Cabine, well done, and Matt Lorenzo. Good afternoon, Matt.
Oh, well
Thank you very
done.
much. If it's that, Matt, I take it is that Matt Lorenzo.
Cool.
All suggested clips that were played this week. If you hear a clip on TalkSport over the next 7 days, please do send it in to us, talksport.com/H&J. Text to 81089, tweet to TSH&J. As always, just need a day and a time when you heard it go out, so we've got a fighting chance of tracking it down. And if it's played like those guys, you'll get a credit. All the previous clips of the week, and indeed the recent batch, will be available to listen to in around 15 minutes' time. The H&J Daily with some of the best bits of this afternoon's show, which will include, if you've missed today's early parts of the show, comedian Carl Donnelly, Spurs fan, and James Richardson join us. Lee Trundle, who goes into the ring tomorrow night against Anthony Gardner. They're all going to be on the podcast if you've missed it, so go and check that out wherever you get your podcasts, H&J Daily. But for now, that was the Clips of the Week with Tool Station. We're going to bring you the Gaffers press conferences very shortly. But before that, we've not had a chance to talk about this yet. A massive shake-up, really, confirmed today in the world of Super League Rugby League. We said yesterday we would touch on it. York and Toulouse have become the latest teams in an expanded Super League, and we asked our very own Mark Wilson if he would just explain exactly what's gone on and the relevance of it.
It's been announced this morning that Super League will go back to 14 teams from the 2026 season. Yesterday, the first 12 teams to compete in the new Super League were confirmed, all based on the IMG grading system that takes into account fandom, finance, stadium, community and on-field performance. And that meant that the Bradford Bulls replaced the Salford Red Devils, who didn't apply for a place in the new Super League after their financial difficulties of the last 12 months. The Bulls, who were relegated from Super League back in 2014, they are back in, and it was announced this morning they'll be joined by two other clubs making the leap from the Championship. Toulouse, winners of the Championship Grand Final last week, beating York. They were last in Super League back in 2022. They joined the Dragons as a second French team in the Super League competition, and also joining them with the York Knights. They won at Wembley this year and won the Championship League Leaders' Shield. They will appear in Super League for the first time. So that will be the 14 then. They were 13th and 14th on the gradings, and that means no place for the London Broncos, recently taken over by an Australian consortium led by the Australian great Darren Lockey. It was thought that the Broncos were a real chance to make it to Super League, but it appears that that takeover has come too late, and their grading and overall application not deemed strong enough to gain them a place in the Super League. It looks like another lost opportunity for the Broncos, but surely they will be in Super League sooner rather than later. But the big news, 14-team Super League. The Bradford Bulls replaced Salford, and in Toulouse and the York Knights.
Thank you very much, Mark. 14 teams next season. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. Great to have a great old name like the Bradford Bulls back.
I was reading about they haven't got long to put a whole squad together, have they? So they're going to be up against it.
And York and Toulouse, I think there's some sort of funding issues there. They won't see as much of the pie as some of the other teams do. So, but with the grading system, maybe they got a chance to consolidate. They won't be, just by finishing in the relegations, they won't necessarily mean they go down. So they might have a couple of years to get the house in order and compete at Super League level. So there we go. We've got the Ashes Saturday week, and the first of 3 tests against the Aussies, and we'll be building up to that, I'm sure, next week. But we're going to hear from the Gaffers, including more from Ange, who was pretty spiky in his pre-Chelsea press conference today. Don't forget that game live on talkSPORT, our game day match at 12:30 tomorrow. We're here as always with Tool Station. Next stop, Tool Station.
welcome to talkSPORT Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Before we go then, let's check in with the managers who have been speaking to the press today ahead of another busy weekend's football. Eddie Howe, we heard him earlier on in Emma's news bulletin talking about Sam Fender winning the Mercury Prize. He did talk a bit of football as well ahead of the games this weekend. They go to Brighton, and he was talking about the fake news story that Joe Willock got lost in.
I thought this was true. I read this.
Lost in a York maze.
I didn't realise it was fake news.
Yeah, I did discuss it with him, just to check whether it was true or not. Probably like everybody else. But this is sort of right in the early stages of it. Thankfully, it wasn't. But no, Joe's fine. He's good. I think he's got the ability to laugh with it rather than be concerned by it.
You'd be annoyed if you turned up late for training, wouldn't you? And because you've been caught. And imagine saying to him, "Sorry, Gaffer, I've been lost in a maze."
They had photos of it and everything. So, how do these stories come about?
I don't know. It's also, who thinks that up? Who thinks, Joe Willock lost in a York maze? That's what I'll do on AI. Yeah. Anyway, Chelsea, Andy, your club. Cole Palmer been out since September with a groin injury.
Oh, no.
Another 6 weeks. Called into Enzo Maresca, the Chelsea manager. This is what he had to say.
Unfortunately, he needs to be out probably 6 more weeks. We try just to protect Cole as much as we can. And the most important thing is that when he come back, he's fully fit. We hope that 6 weeks, they are enough. But it's a problem that we need to see step by step, week after week. But for sure, he's going to be okay.
Well, yeah, after a while he is, I'm sure.
I hope so. I love watching him,
And so he's important that we're building up the World Cup, that he's back fit and firing for England, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nuno Espirito Santo, the West Ham manager, when we did the Falls panel earlier on, we predicted that life would get better for him and he'll be making a difference. He's keen to turn the London Stadium into a tough away day for teams, he says.
For me, it's very hard to analyze what's happened before. What I'm doing is try to improve, realizing that the home factor is really important. And like I said to you before, I think it's up to us now to go closer to the fans, to make them support us and help us, and so we can change everything and become a real fortress.
Half the problem is physically getting closer to the fans because they're such a long way away.
Yeah, that does make
can make a tremendous noise there when West Ham give them a reason to.
Monday evening against Brentford at home. Ange Postecoglou, he played you a little bit of his pretty spiky press conference. A lot of pressure on him going into the Chelsea game, and he understands that.
Of course, there's pressure. There's difference but there's pressure anyway. So if we win on the weekend, there's a pressure. No, there's always pressure. There's a difference between pressure and difference between saying that somebody should lose their job after 5 weeks. I mean, I only just found an apartment to move into, mate, which may be a bad decision on my behalf. I should have stayed in temporary digs, That's how early it is. So there's a difference. Like I said, you can yeah, we haven't won a game. I'm as disappointed as anyone with that. No one likes not winning games of football. But within that context, if you look at those games and suggest to me that we weren't in a position to win any of those, then that's a different story as well. But yeah, the pressure's there, but the pressure's always there. We're not talking about pressure. Pressure is part of managing at this level, and we're all judged by our results. And at the moment, the results are suggesting I'm not doing a good job. That's a far cry from people saying I should lose my job or speculating I should lose my job after 5 weeks. That's a different end of the spectrum.
He seems to be sort of speaking from a bit of a position of strength. Maybe he's had some chats with the owner.
It's football. We all know, if they beat Chelsea tomorrow, then it'll all be fine. Get at least till December after that. So,
yeah. There is another window.
I don't want it to happen, but they just need a win.
There is that window in November, which could be pretty costly for him, depending on what happens. Anyway, his old club Spurs take on Villa this weekend, Sunday afternoon. Thomas Frank said he's looking forward to the game and thinks that Villa are a good side under Unai Emery.
Fantastic run of games ahead of us, starting with Villa on Sunday. The top team, top manager, Unai. I respect him a lot. I think what he's done in his career is amazing. What he created at Villa is fantastic in so many areas. I think they did well in Champions League last season and almost qualified for the Champions League again, which is very impressive. And I think they have a very strong team. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, you'll be kept in touch with Spurs Villa on Sunday afternoon.
It'll be a good game, that.
Yeah.
Villa are in much better form.
They are. Spurs need to show a bit more going forward at home, so it should be a good matchup. But that is us. Thanks very much for your company this afternoon and indeed this week. Enjoy all the sport that we bring you on talkSPORT this weekend, the football, the cricket and more. Coming up next, though, to take you into the weekend is Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent with Drive.